A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all old-time radio.
Five bells. Stand by all stations.
Attention! All districts, a five-alarm fire. 5 bells, move in immediately.
That's it. Let's go!
Let's go! Firefighters!
Presenting Firefighters, the true-to-life story of our unsung heroes who stand ready to ride by day or night against our most murderous enemy, the demon of fire. In just a minute, we'll join Tim Collins and his rescue pal Mushnosky down at the waterfront, where they have a bad case of monkey trouble. Answering a rescue call, they're astounded to see when they get to the scene dozens of monkeys swarming loose all over the sides of buildings. Shipped from India for experimental purposes, the monkeys got loose while being unloaded from the boat. At first, the boys got a good laugh out of this freak assignment, trying to corral the wiry little creatures. Then, they learned that their rescue job was more than a lark. We'll learn exactly what Tim and Mush are up against just as soon as we hear this message. Let's go, firefighters. Let's go to the waterfront where Tim Collins and the others in the rescue company have answered the strangest call of their careers, capturing a shipment of rhesus monkeys which are running wild. It's been sort of fun for the boys, although they haven't caught a single monkey yet, until Mr. Jackson, the man to whom the monkeys were shipped, arrives on the scene. Mr. Jackson, seeing the monkeys scampering over the face of the buildings, is definitely not amused. Quite the opposite. He seems quite concerned as he says,
"Men, we must capture those monkeys immediately."
Well, we're doing all we can, sir, but they're darned elusive critters.
Well, there must be a way, and we've got to find it.
Tell me, you seem unusually concerned, Mr. Jackson. Now, I know the monkeys are valuable. Mr. Lang, the keeper, said so, but
Well, did he tell you all about the monkeys?
Well, what do you mean, sir?
I see that he hasn't. These monkeys, gentlemen, are vital to a very important medical experiment the doctors of this city are conducting.
You mean, sir, they're to be used as sort of guinea pigs?
That's right. The doctors are on the verge of cracking the mystery of one of our most deadly maladies. Now, these monkeys are vital if their experiments are to be successful.
Are these monkeys really that important? I mean, will catching them or losing them mean the difference maybe between life or death to some people?
They most assuredly mean just that, sir.
Well, sir, in that case, the fire department will do everything in its power to capture them, Mr. Jackson.
Tim, you know what I think?
What's that, Mush?
I think we better get Chief Cody over here, on the double.
In a matter of minutes after receiving Tim's urgent call, Chief Cody's big red car rolls up to the scene.
What's up, Tim? In the tone of your voice, I figured something was serious.
Well, it is sort of, Chief. You see,
Holy smoke, where'd those monkeys come from?
Well, that's the emergency, sir. Monkeys.
Well, but what's so serious about monkeys, Tim? I thought you had a real job on your hands.
Well, it's not only the monkeys, sir, although they have been giving us plenty of trouble. It's because...
Come on. What's the real problem?
Well, sir, these monkeys are extremely important, Chief. They're needed for a very important medical experiment.
What do you mean? What kind of an experiment?
Well, the man who was supposed to get them says it's in connection with a deadly disease and that they're depending on these monkeys to help them find a cure for it.
Say, this is important business. We've got to catch those monkeys and fast. How many have you snared so far?
None, sir.
None? Well, what's the matter with you fellows? Don't tell me monkeys have stumped the rescue company.
They're pretty cagey characters, Chief. They're worse than cats, even. I've taken many a cat off a telegraph pole, but these babies, they just don't want to be caught.
We tried bananas, sir, but
bananas. What is this, a fruit store or a rescue company? I'll admit that in all my years I've never come up against monkeys before. But it can't be so difficult. Tim, get a ladder up to that ledge up there.
Oh, what are you going to do, Chief?
Show you boys how to catch monkeys. But first, Mushnosky.
Yes, sir?
Break out all the leather gloves you have in the truck. Give every man a pair. Now, let's see. Monkeys, if I remember rightly, bite. So we better be protected.
Right away, sir.
Now,
All right, the ladder's ready, Chief. But, sir, I'm telling you, it's not as easy as that.
Oh, nonsense. All you have to do is climb up and grab them.
Yes, sir.
You got those gloves, Mushnowski?
Yeah, here you are, Chief. A good thick pair.
That's the thing. Now, you boys stand aside while I show you how to catch a monkey.
Yes, sir.
Then when you've learned the technique, you can go after them yourself.
I wish you luck, Chief, but I still say that...
Oh, by golly. This reminds me of coon hunting when I was a boy. The dogs would get a raccoon up a tree, then they'd send us boys up after him.
I bet raccoons were never as slippery as these animals.
Now then, just a few more steps and... There we are. All right. Come on, fella. That's it. Come on, boy. That's right. Just jump into my arms.
See what we mean, sir? They just don't want to be caught.
I could have sworn I had him right in my hands.
Well, so could I, Chief Cody, a half a dozen times. Oh, we've got to think of something else, sir.
Yeah, I guess you're right, Tim. The old man was too sure of himself. Hey, I've had cats and dogs to rescue, and once a pet leopard, but, well, monkeys are something new.
Yes, sir, I suppose we could gas them, sir, with fear bomb.
No, I'm afraid that would just drive them farther away. Scatter them through the city. Then we'd never catch them.
Well, I'm going to make another try, Chief. We got to get them somehow.
Okay, Mushnowski. Have the others work on him, too. But be sure you're wearing those leather gloves.
Right, Chief. All right, gang, let's go after him again. Come on.
Tim, you know, this has got me stumped.
What do you mean,
To
sir?
think that a little band of monkeys could present such a problem.
Yes, sir. Well, you know, sir, there's one thing I've noticed. At least they seem to keep together on the sides of these buildings.
Yeah.
Now, if they should ever take it into their heads to scatter through the city, we'd never catch them for those dodges.
That's what bothers me, son.
Yes, sir.
They may do just that when it gets dark.
Yes, sir. Well, I guess then that our problem is to round them up before nightfall.
Right, or have monkeys roaming all over the city.
Yes, sir. Oh,
What in the dickens was that?
it's from one of the boys.
Hey, what's the trouble over there?
Hey, it's Mush, Chief, and he's running this way.
Yeah, tearing in his clothing. Hey, what happened, Mushnowski?
Well, monkeys. Sir.
What?
Mush,
I got hold of it, but that...
Good grief, what happened?
I had him and was bringing them down the ladder when all of us...
I know what's troubling you, Mush.
Well, what is it? He's dancing around like a crazy man.
Yes, sir, and I'll bet my bottom dollars Mush has monkey fleas.
Well, it looks like anything can happen in the rescue company. First monkeys, and now fleas. It may seem like a pretty hilarious predicament to Tim, but for Mushnowski, monkeys at the moment are far from being a barrel of fun. Now, we rejoin Chief Cody, Tim, and Mushnowski several minutes after Tim's startling discovery, just as a fire department doctor arrived.
Hello, Chief. What's up?
Hello, Dr. Sleeman. It's Mushnowski here. Seems kind of silly, but...
Silly? What do you mean?
Well, we've been trying to catch these monkeys here, and Mush, I'm afraid.
Monkey bite him?
No, nothing as simple as that, Doc.
Well, what's the trouble? Oh. Oh, now I know.
You guessed it, Doctor.
Fleas. Monkey fleas. Well, son, I guess you'll have to come with me.
What are you going to do, Doc?
Oh, well, don't worry. Nothing serious. Just douse you with a little flea powder.
Poor Mushnowski, in the line of duty, he of all people has to get a bad case of monkey fleas. Nothing very serious, but it removes him from duty and leaves the Chief and Tim with the naughty little problem how to round up the monkeys. Now, as funny as it may seem, it's mighty important they corral the creatures if those important medical experiments are to be completed. To learn the next exciting development of the case of the wild monkeys, be sure to listen to the next true-to-life episode of The Firefighters. And now, in just a moment, Fire Chief Cody will be back to tell you, boys and girls, how you can help the firefighters in your own town. But right now, let's listen to this message. And now, boys and girls, here's Fire Chief Bob Cody with a very special message for all of you in the Firefighters Brigade. Chief Cody.
Hello, boys and girls. Here's a fire prevention tip for motorists and for everyone who rides in automobiles. Now, you've probably noticed when your father pulls up to a gas station to buy some gasoline, he usually turns off his motor. Now, in many states, this is the law. And even in those where it isn't, most gas station attendants will not put gasoline in a tank until the car motor is shut off. Well, there's a good reason for that, and it's one of the most important fire prevention rules in the handling of gasoline. With the motor running, there's always a chance that a spark from the ignition will touch off the open tank, causing a terrible explosion and, of course, a fire. So, my tip to you is, always be sure when the car you're riding in is being filled with gas that the motor is turned off. Well, that's all for now. Till I drop in the next time. So long.
Fire Chief Cody and the young rookie fireman Tim Collins will be back on the same station the next time you hear...
That's it. Let's go!
Let's go! Firefighters!
Ladies and gentlemen, the secret word tonight is wall. W-A-L-L.
Really?
You bet your life. The more than 3,000 DeSoto Plymouth Dealers of America present Groucho Marx in You Bet Your Life, a comedy quiz series produced and transcribed from Hollywood. And here he is, the one, the only...
Who? Oh, that's me. Well, here I am again with $1,500 for one of our couples.
We asked for married couples to volunteer tonight, Groucho, and just before we went on the air, we selected Mr. and Mrs. Melvin Cole. And here they are. Folks, meet Groucho Marx.
Well, welcome, youngsters, for the DeSoto Plymouth Dealers. Say the secret word and divide $100. It's a common word, something you find around the house. Mr. and Mrs. Melvin Cole, eh? And what is your hometown, Mrs. Cole?
Chicago, the north side.
Oh, the north. In that case, I'll take the north side. Much more scenic than the south side. You two don't seem very large. How tall are you, Melvin?
Well, sometimes I'm 5'3", and sometimes I'm 5'5". When I went in the Army, I was 5'3".
You mean you shrunk purposely? Huh? And what is your first name, Mrs. Cole? I can't keep calling you Mrs. Cole. Huh?
Well, you can call me Ann, but my real name is Anniversary.
Yeah, well, when is your anniversary?
Well, I was called that because I was born on my parents' 4th wedding anniversary.
Oh, I see. Do you ever call yourself Versary? I mean, always stick with the Anna? How tall are you?
Yeah. I'm 4'10" and a half, without heels.
Mm-hmm. Are you referring to Melvin when you say that? What sort of work do you do, Melvin?
We're closet decorators, Mr. Marx.
I beg your what's that?
Closet decorators.
You work for Fibber, McGee, and Molly?
No, but they probably need us.
You're in closets. Well, we probably met before, haven't we? Just what do you mean you're in the closet business? I never heard of a closet business.
Well, we do everything for the closets that the interior decorator does for the rest of the house. We do...
That's pretty underhanded, isn't it? Huh?
Yeah, well, it's an inside job.
Is that one of the jokes of the profession?
No, after we take the skeletons out, that's what's left.
You take Red Skelton out of the closet and put Fibber McGee in, eh?
We've never met him in the closet yet.
Well, what do you do while Melvin is rattling around the closet saying, what do you do?
I'm in the closet business with him.
Well, you two must hang around a lot together, eh? Well, you're the prettiest closet maker I've ever seen.
Thank you.
Well, you're a nice couple, and if you come to my house, Mr. and Mrs. Cole, I'll be glad to throw you in the furnace. And if you don't like that, Mrs. Cole, I'll be glad to carry you to Newcastle. Now, in just 1 minute, you're going to play You Bet Your Life for a chance at the $1,500 question. But first, I'd like you to pay close attention to something instructive.
Take the 5-mile trial.
Take the 5-mile trial.
Your DeSoto Plymouth dealer invites you to take the 5-mile trial in a new DeSoto Fire Dome 8 or a DeSoto Power Master 6. He wants you to get behind the wheel yourself so you can appreciate the difference in DeSoto. For example, in the Fire Dome 8, the exhilarating feel of power as you touch your toe to the accelerator and call on the mighty new 160-horsepower DeSoto Fire Dome V8 engine. Driving up steep hills and through stop-and-go city traffic, you'll discover the tremendous acceleration and reserve power of this mighty DeSoto V8 engine that gives you more power from every drop of gas and on regular gasoline. The new DeSoto Fire Dome V8 engine is years ahead of every other type of passenger car engine built today. So here's your chance to try the sensational new DeSoto full power steering, power brakes, and all the other great new DeSoto features. Visit your DeSoto Plymouth dealers tomorrow for a 5-mile trial in a new DeSoto, either the Fire Dome 8 or the Power Master 6. And remember, all dealers who sell DeSoto also sell Plymouth, the low-priced car most like high-priced cars.
Here we go. Let's see how high I can bill you $20. From our list of 20 categories, you selected number 10, creators of famous movie roles. Here's your first question. How much will you bet?
20.
Talk up, kids.
Let's bet $20.
$20. Okay. Who created the role of Frankenstein's monster?
Boris Karloff.
Boris Karloff is right.
Off to a good start. You have $40.
Remember, you're going for $1,500. Now, how much of the $40 are you going to try this time?
Shoot the works.
40.
Who created the part of Lynn Belvedere?
Clifton Webb.
Clifton Webb is right.
Really climbing. You have $80 now.
Here's your third question. How much of the 80?
80.
80. Who created the role of Pa Keppel?
Percy Kilbride.
Right.
You now have $160.
You certainly picked a category that you knew. Here's your last chance to be the other couples. How much are you going to bet?
All of it.
All of it.
Oh, this kid's a gambler, huh? Who created the kindly Dr. Christian?
Gene Herschel.
Gene Herschel is right.
And you wind up right up at the top with $320.
$320. Thanks and good luck from the DeSoto Plymouth dealers.
We asked for housewives with interesting occupations to volunteer tonight, Groucho, and just before we went on the air, Mrs. Ruth King and Mrs. Sylvia Treichler were chosen. And here they are. Ladies, meet Groucho Marx.
Well, welcome. Welcome to You Bet Your Life. Say the secret word and divide $100. It's a common word, something you find around the house. Mrs. Ruth King and Mrs. Sylvia Treichler. Treichler or Treichler? Treichler. Who is Sylvia?
That's me.
Thanks. I've been asking who is Sylvia for 40 years. And at last tonight I've found you. Hot diggity. Mrs. Ruth King. Ruth, where are you from?
I'm from Alabama.
Have you got a banjo on your knee? Or... What have you got on your knee? Anything?
Water.
Water, huh? They're all too smart for me tonight. May I ask your age, Ruth? I know that's a kind of an impudent question, but we do that here.
Yes. Yes.
I can ask you, but you won't answer, is that it? Well, that's your privilege. You don't have to. How old are you, Sylvia?
27.
27. Let's say you're 27, too.
I'm fine.
Where do you live, Sylvia?
Out in the valley, Sherman Oaks.
Oh, Sherman Oaks. Were you born in Sherman Oaks?
No, in Zurich, Switzerland.
Oh, well, is that near Sherman Oaks? And Mrs. King, do you do anything besides housekeeping?
Well, in my spare moments, I'm writing my autobiography.
Oh, really? Who's this autobiography about? Isn't it unusual for a housewife to write a book like that?
Well, I haven't always been a housewife. When I was much younger, I did some flying.
You did some frying?
Flying.
Oh, flying. I don't hear very well. You'll have to... The glasses... bifocals. You don't hear well with bifocals. You say you did some flying?
Yes.
And where did you fly? I mean, what kind of flying have you done?
Well, I was the first girl to attempt to fly across the Atlantic Ocean.
Wait a minute. Well, that was Ruth Elder that flew across the ocean. That's you? Well, it's a great pleasure to have you here, Ruth.
Thank you.
Were big headlines back there in, when was it, around?
In 1927.
27. I remember you very well.
Thank you.
I didn't remember Columbus. Whatever made you decide to fly the Atlantic?
Well, on the day that Lindbergh made his landing in Paris, I was in a beauty contest, and word was flashed to us that Lindbergh had made his landing. Mm-hmm. And I decided right then that someday some girl would make that flight, and I decided that I would be the one to do it.
Oh, you had a lot of nerve, didn't you? Huh? How much later was this after you made this decision? Huh?
5 months later. 5 months later, I was flying across the Atlantic Ocean.
Uh-huh. And not in a bathing suit, huh?
No.
How long did it take you to fly across the Atlantic?
We were in the air for 35 hours. We had 3 hours to go, but we were forced down at sea.
Well, how long had you been flying when you decided to try the Atlantic?
Oh, I'd never been up in an airplane.
You'd never been up before,
No.
huh? How long were you in the water before you were rescued?
Just about an hour.
Is that how you got water on the knee? Right. You never flown, and you decide to fly across the ocean, huh? I suppose if you decide to learn piano, you'd hire Carnegie Hall for your first recital. After you started your trip, how did it go, Ruth?
It went very well. The first night, as far as weather was concerned, the weather was...
Were you scared?
Oh, yes.
Huh? You were.
Yes.
Well, you're honest about it, anyhow. Most people lie about those things, you know.
Oh, I was scared. But the flying was very difficult because we had 10 cans of gasoline packed in the tail surface of the plane, which made the plane very tail heavy. Mm. And, of course, you know, we didn't have the planes of those days as we have today.
No, of course not.
So the first night was wonderful. The second day was all right, except the flying was still difficult. Holding the plane on an even keel was difficult. And then in the afternoon, we ran into a terrific storm. And we battled the storm all night long. And
couldn't fly above it?
We couldn't get above it, we couldn't get under it, and we couldn't get around it. And it was sleeting and lightning and rain. The rain was a perfect wall of water on the windshield.
Wall! You said wall! You said wall, that's the secret word, so here's $50 for you, and here's $50 for you. Now you can get your knee fixed, Ruth. You get yourself a pump for $50 and pump that knee, eh? Well, you were getting close to the other side, eh? There was this perfect wall of water. You're pretty cute at that.
Well, during the storm and the plane being thrown around the way it was, our oil line broke. And we began to lose altitude, and we knew that we were going down at sea. And, of course, every white cap in the distance to me was a boat, because I was looking so hard for one. And finally, we did sight. When we were about 600 feet off the water, we sighted this little oil tanker.
You certainly were lucky.
We were very lucky. It was the only ship within 300 miles radius, and it had left its port 3 days late, and was also off its course because of the same storm we had been fighting.
And then you proceeded to France?
Well, eventually, yes. It took us a long time to get there because the little tanker was on its way to Texas, and we didn't want to go to Texas, but they did take us to the...
They were carrying oil to Texas? Things have slightly changed in the last 20 years. Sylvia, do you remember Ruth Elder's famous flight?
No, I was just a baby at the time.
Sylvia, there's a boat leaving for Switzerland in the morning. Well, it's been a pleasure to have you both here. All right, now you're going to play. You're going to play You Bet Your Life. But first, I want to remind you to see the new DeSoto Fire Dome 8. It's a great car. Are you ready? Now you decide on one answer between you. I can't tell you how much you have to win. George is going to remind our listeners. George is hiding outside in the doghouse.
The married couple won $320, and the secret word is wall.
Let's see how high I can bid you $20. You selected events and personalities of the Roaring Twenties. You ought to be good at this, Ruth. Here's your first question. How much will you bet?
Let's bet $19.99.
All right, fine with me.
Well, Ruth, you're flying the ocean again. All right. One of the greatest of all amateur golfers was the quiet perfectionist from Atlanta. What is his name?
Bobby Jones.
Bobby Jones is right.
On your way, you have $39.99.
Now, how much of the $39.99 you going to bet?
Let's bet $39.98, huh?
All right.
What do we got to lose?
$39.98. All right. The canaster of the 20s was a game played with ivory dominoes imported from China. What is the name of this Chinese game? Talk it over.
You know.
How does it look?
Mahjong.
Mahjong is right.
You now have $79.97.
Mahjong. Isn't that, in French, isn't that Mr. Mahjong?
I don't know.
I don't know either. Right? All right, you have $79.97. Now, how much are you going to bet on this?
96.
We got 79?
$79.97.
Oh, sure. We'll save a penny.
Yeah.
Makes it $79.96 you're betting, right?
Yeah.
Here's the way they do it on some quiz shows. One of the most popular writers of the 20s was an author of the book Main Street and Babbitt. What was his name? You've got 15 seconds to decide on this. He wrote Main Street and Babbitt. What was his name?
Ben Hecht?
One answer between you. I'm sorry, the correct answer is Sinclair Lewis.
Oh.
You have 1 cent left.
You have 1 cent left.
Let's try high enough.
How much you going to bet?
We better
How much
bet the
can
whole
be?
thing.
All right, you're going to bet the whole thing. The first woman to swim in the English Channel was the 19-year-old butcher's daughter from New York. What was her name?
Trudy Adderley.
Gertrude Adderley is right. I'm sorry.
Gee, wait a minute.
Wait a
Wound up
minute.
with 2 cents, Groucho.
Nobody leaves here with 2 cents except me. Give you one question. Get this right, and we'll bring your winnings up to $25. So you're now going for $24.98. I guess I'm pretty good on that. Ready? In what city is the San Francisco Opera House? San Francisco is right. Thanks and good luck from the DeSoto Plymouth dealer.
Groucho, we invited some girls from a testing bureau to the show tonight. And just before we went on the air, our studio audience selected Miss June Duran. Her partner is a baseball umpire, Mr. Jack Powell. And here they are. Folks, meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome for the DeSoto Plymouth dealers. Say the secret word and win $100. It's a common word, something you find around the house. A baseball umpire, eh? I'll get around to you in a minute. I'm saving you, old boy. Where are you from, June?
From Los Angeles.
Los Angeles, huh? How old are you, June?
31.
31. You don't look it. I thought you were about 23.
Thank you.
You're very well preserved. Are you married?
Yes, I am.
Let's forget the whole thing, huh? Mr. Powell, huh? Where are you from? Foul Ball, Texas?
No, Peoria, Illinois.
I knew he'd be from a town where there's a brewery. He's got a hops on his fast one, I'll bet. Huh? Are you married?
Yes, sir.
Typical umpire, another wrong decision. This is fun, I like this. Are you British?
No.
Well, I read someplace that the sun never sets on the British Empire, and I just... Just checking, that's all. June Duran, is that right?
That's right.
Where is it you work, June?
Well, I work at the California Test Bureau.
Testing Bureau?
That's right.
Well, what do you test?
Well, we test people.
Are you testy yourself?
Well, no, we test people for educational and vocational guidance, and we also test for aptitude testing.
What is that? What's an aptitude test?
Well, an aptitude
I
test...
had a very good aptitude. I had about 3 steaks for dinner tonight.
Well, an aptitude test is we'd give a type of a test we'd give you to see your strengths and your weaknesses and your potentialities, what type of work you should be doing, and your levels of interest.
My levels of interest? You won't get very far with me, June. My interests don't happen to be on the level. Well, let's go crooked. Let's get back to you again. Huh? How many umpires are there in a game of baseball?
Either 3 or 4.
That's more than many teams have ball players. Now, make up your mind. You're not behind the plate now. What do you mean, either 3 or 4?
Well, we have 14 umpires. And when all the teams are playing, there's only 4 places they can go.
You're wrong. There's 5 places they can go. All right, what are the other 3 places they can go?
Well, they rotate.
They do, huh? Well, they're dizzy enough to rotate. What do you mean they rotate?
Well, the first day the umpire will work behind the plate, the next day he'll work at third base, the next day at second base, and the next day at first base.
I see. Now, suppose the catcher is really angry at one of your crooked decisions.
Crooked decision?
Yeah.
What do you mean, crooked decision?
Well, one of the honest decisions. What can he do about it?
Well, he can protest as long as he protests in the right respect and manner.
Like
By
what?
not using any profanity or anything like that.
He's not allowed to use profanity?
No, sir.
He should be respectful at all times, is that it?
That's right.
You mean he should say, like, dear sir, isn't it possible? Your judgment may be a trifle faulty in this matter. You jake you. Suppose the player does protest in a gentlemanly manner. Do you accept the protest?
Absolutely.
What do you do about it?
Nothing.
You ever change your decision, you robber, you?
Robber? Where do you get that? Robber.
Here's the way DeRoche goes.
He don't get very far when he goes that way either, does he?
Well, he got Lorraine Day.
That's one break he got.
Have you ever admitted that you made a single mistake?
No, I haven't.
You mean to tell me in all your umpiring you've never made a single mistake, Jack?
I may have made them, but I never admitted them.
Just as I thought. Crooked as the day is long. And the days are pretty long these days. Why don't you admit them, Jack, like a man?
Well, I'll tell you, Groucho. I never made a mistake from my heart when I was umpiring a ball game.
What are the requirements for an umpire?
An umpire must have honesty, integrity, good eyesight, and plenty of intestinal fortitude.
Wouldn't it help if you knew a little about baseball? Well, I've kidded the umpire, but as an old blown-in-the-bottle baseball fan, I know umpires are necessary, honest, and help to make the game a great one. This is a lie, but I thought I'd better say it. Put it there, Jack. I've watched you for many years, and you're a great umpire.
Thanks, Groucho.
Let's play You Bet Your Life. $20 no more than the other couples. I can't tell you much after win, but George is going to remind our listeners.
The married couple still lead with $320.
You selected songs about sports as your category. Here's your first question. How much of the 20 are you going to try? Talk it over. You have one decision between you.
Well, shall we get 1975?
Sure, 1975.
1975. Give me the title of this song. Play, Jerry. everything we will go is right.
You now have $39.75.
Now, you're going for $1,500. This is just chicken feed. How much of this money are you going to go for?
$39, okay.
$39 out of $39.75. What is the name of this song? Hamtown Races is right.
$78.75.
Your third question, how much are you going to bet?
78.
78. Let's see if you can identify this song. Okay, Jerry. Talk it over.
The Skater's Waltz.
Skater's Waltz is right.
Now have $156.75.
And it's your last chance to beat the other couples. How much are you going to go for?
All of it.
Shoot the works. All right, this is extra inning game. Play it, Jerry. Sailing. Pretty straight.
You wind up with $313.50. And that means the married couple with $320. In just 1 minute, get the chance at the DeSoto Plymouth $1,500 question.
Oh, I'm sorry, but you did pretty well at that,
$3,300 million. That's the staggering cost of 1 year's motor vehicle accidents. So reports the National Safety Council. And many of these accidents can be avoided. It depends on you. If your car isn't as safe as it can be, get a trustworthy safety checkup at the place that knows your car best, at your DeSoto Plymouth dealers. You'll find the expert mechanics at a DeSoto Plymouth dealers are experienced in all types of car repair. Not only that, they get frequent training in factory methods to keep them up on the latest and quickest methods of servicing your car. These master technicians have the finest, most up-to-date equipment to work with, enabling them to do a better job at a reasonable price. And incidentally, if your car should need parts, your DeSoto Plymouth dealer can supply you immediately with the right factory-approved parts. So don't take chances with your safety or your family's safety. Stop in for a thorough safety checkup where you see the familiar sign of better service, the friendly sign of a DeSoto Plymouth dealer. Here's the winning couple, Groucho, all set for the DeSoto Plymouth $1,500 question.
Well, here's your chance to get out of the closet permanently. Here we go for $1,500. I'll give you 15 seconds to decide on a single answer between you. Think carefully and please no help from the audience. You ready? According to the Bible, Moses led the Israelites in their flight from bondage in Egypt to the Promised Land in Palestine. For $1,500, what is this great migration called? Talk it over. What's the answer you two have decided upon?
The flight out of Egypt into Lebanon.
No, I'm sorry. The correct answer is the Exodus. So that means the big question next week will be worth $2,000. Well, you lost the big money, but how much did they win the quiz, George?
All the way, $320.
Well, that's only been done twice, I think, in the history of our show. Congratulations, and thanks to both of you, and to all of our contestants on the show tonight.
Be sure to tune in again next Wednesday night at the same time for the Groucho Marx Show, when the big question will be worth $2,000. And don't miss Groucho's television show, also presented by the DeSoto Plymouth Dealers of America. And remember, all dealers who sell DeSoto also sell Plymouth. Two great cars, both products of the Chrysler Corporation.
And when you drive in, tell them Groucho sent you. Good night, folks, and remember, see DeSoto Fire Dome tomorrow.
Council. Make safe driving a habit. Check your car. Check accidents. You Bet Your Life, transcribed from Hollywood, is produced by John Goodell. Directed by Robert Dwan and Bernie Smith. Music by Jerry Fielding. This is George Fenneman signing off for the more than 3,000 DeSoto Plymouth dealers from coast to coast.
Oh, George, I've got a cold. You better say it.
All right. Well, hello. Come right in. Oh, Gracie, we've got company.
This is Bill Goodwin speaking for Lever Brothers, makers of Swan, the new white floating soap that's pure as fine castiles. Well, it's Tuesday night again, time for another pleasant visit with George Burns and Gracie Allen. Our guest, William Powell, star of the Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer picture Heavenly Body, with Jimmy Cash, Felix Mills, and his orchestra. And now meet the people who live in the Burns house, George and Gracie. It's afternoon in the Burns home, and George has just come home from the office to find his little wife, Gracie, so thrilled and excited she can hardly talk.
Oh, George, I just can't believe it. It's like a dream come true.
Well, what is it? What's the news?
Well, I know it's happened to other women, but now it's happening to me, to us.
Well, Gracie, what is it?
Oh, it's what every home needs, what every man and wife pray for.
Gracie, you mean we're going to have a...
Yes. A cleaning woman.
Cleaning woman?
Yes. Starting today, I'll have her once a week to clean the house.
Gee, I thought we were going to have a baby.
Oh, George, a baby couldn't clean this big house.
Well, let it go.
Well, you don't seem very thrilled. Cleaning women are scarce.
Well, how did you get her?
Mrs. Bundy? Oh, I promised her that in addition to her wages, we'd give her bus fare once a month.
Well, that's a cinch.
Yeah, once a month she likes to visit her daughter in Chicago.
That's where we pay the bus fare.
Yeah, round trip.
Might be cheaper to move to Chicago.
Oh, that's probably Mrs. Bundy now. Stand up straight, dear. I want you to make a good impression.
Okay.
Come in.
Well, here I am.
Oh, Mrs. Bundy, I'm so glad you could make it.
Where do I start cleaning?
Well, first, Mrs. Bundy, I understand it's customary to present letters of reference.
Oh, don't bother. You folks look honest.
Well, that's nice.
Oh, this is my husband.
Hello.
Mine's bigger.
Oh, yes, George is rather petite. But don't let his size fool you. He's as strong as an ox and much handsomer.
Thanks, dear.
Oh, here's the duster, Mrs. Bundy. You can start right here.
Okay.
You work for lots of movie stars, don't you?
That's right. And believe me, I could tell you plenty about them.
Oh, well, that's what I was leading up to.
Only I can't talk when I'm working.
Oh, well, in that case, let me work and you talk.
That's what I was leading up to.
Well, now, hand me the duster.
Wait a minute, Gracie. You're going to pay Mrs. Bundy 90 cents an hour just to gossip about movie stars? You could get that from Luella Parsons for a nickel.
Well, if Luella Parsons works that cheap, she can't be a good cleaning woman.
Well, it looks like there'll be no dinner cooked around here tonight. I better go out and eat.
Oh, all right. Goodbye, dear.
Bonjour.
Well, who do you want to hear about? The Humphrey Bogarts, the Walter Pigeon?
Well, start with the Humphrey Bogart. Is he as tough around the house as he is in pictures?
No, indeed. I've been around there plenty, and he doesn't wear the pants in that house.
My goodness. Isn't that kind of drafty?
I mean, he ain't the boss. Oh, I'll get it, Mrs. Burns. You just keep right on dusting. Yes?
Oh, hello. I'm Bill Goodwin. Well, say, aren't you Mrs. Bundy who cleans house for all the movie stars?
That's right.
Well, Mrs. Bundy, this is an opportunity I've been waiting for. There's a certain soap I'd like to tell you about.
I don't want to hear about any soap.
Gee, I guess I got to get my foot in the door.
Well,
Mrs. Bundy,
now just skip it. The only kind of soap I use is Swan, that new white floating soap.
Oh, well, but that's the
Don't
soap
you
that...
say a word against him. You fresh salesman who knock other fellows' products.
Well, but Mrs.
I
Bundy,
like Swan because I can use it for everything. Washing the dishes, doing light laundry. And let me tell you something, young man. Swan is great, too, for bathing the baby and for the bath or shower.
Yeah.
Why, Swan is 4 soaps in one, so you just hush up.
Well, but Mrs. Bundy,
Will you stop slapping your trap? It ain't going to do no good to try to sell me some other soap. What do you think helps keep my hands looking so beautiful? Swan soap.
You should try it for your face.
I make my living with my hands, and I gotta protect them, so I wash the dishes with nothing but Swan. Why, those Swan suds are so mild and gentle, your hands don't get that rough red dishpanny look.
Well, but Mrs. Bundy,
And don't try to tell me different, you curly-headed whippersnapper, you. Now get out of here.
Well,
Now what?
Well, I just wanted to get my foot out of the door.
Oh, Mrs. Bundy, who is it?
Oh, some smart Alex trying to get me to stop using Swan soap.
Oh, I'll get it. Hello?
Hello, Gracie. This is George.
Oh, yes, dear.
Look, I just ran into William Powell here at the restaurant, and I'd like to bring him home for the evening.
William Powell, the movie star?
That's right.
You mean the original Frank Sinatra?
Original Frank Sinatra?
Well, wasn't Mr. Powell the first thin man?
Gracie, they're redecorating Mr. Powell's house, and the poor guy hasn't had any sleep now for 3 nights. Is it all right if he sleeps with us tonight?
Well, wouldn't he be more comfortable in the guest room, dear?
Get things ready. We'll be there at 9 o'clock, dear.
Here's our popular young tenor, Jimmy Cash, with Felix Mills in the orchestra, in a revival of the great ballad, I'll Get By. James?
I'll get by as long as I have you, though there be rain and darkness too. I'll not complain, I'll see it through. Though I may be far away, say what care I, dear, I'll get by as long as I have I'll get by as long as I have you.
Well, it seems that William Powell's home is being redecorated, and as a result, Mr. Powell hasn't slept for 3 nights. So George has invited his exhausted friend to spend the night in his quiet little nest. Now, approaching the Burns home, we see 2 men. One tired-looking, hollow-eyed, a very shell of a man, and the other, William Powell.
Here we are, Bill. This is our little honeymoon cottage. It isn't much, but it's comfortable. Well, in 5 minutes, I'll have you tucked in bed.
Why, George, you make me feel like a bride. Well, I'm just tired enough to let you carry me over the threshold.
Well, come on, let's go in. Here we are, Gracie.
Oh, come in. Oh, I'm so glad to see you, Mr. Powell.
Thank you, Gracie.
George told me about you not being able to sleep. You do look tired.
Yes, I'm afraid I have dark shadows under my eyes.
Yes. There's even one under your nose.
That's his mustache.
Oh. Oh, it's cute. It reminds me of George's chest.
How revolting.
Of course, there's more hair on your lip.
Gracie, stop being silly.
Oh, I'm sorry I laughed at your mustache, Mr. Powell.
Oh, that's all right. It tickles my wife, too.
Well, is the guest room ready, dear? Bill hasn't slept for 3 nights, and he's got to get to bed right away.
Oh, well, now, this is the guest room right here, Mr. Powell.
Oh, say, this is a charming room. Oh, that bed certainly does look inviting.
Oh, isn't it lovely? My mother gave us that bed for a wedding present.
How nice.
Yes, we slept there for 3 years. Then Mother went home and George and I slept in it.
Gracie, let's get out of here and let Bill get to bed.
Well, good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night. Oh, I almost forgot, Mr. Powell. If you open that top dresser drawer, you'll find one of George's nightshirts.
Oh, yes. Thanks for telling me. I'll be careful not to open it.
Oh, you'll love it. I'll show it to you. There, isn't it, darling?
Yeah, very chic. But the neck's too small for me. I could never get my head through that tiny hole.
Oh. Well, I have to make it that small so it won't slip down over George's shoulders.
Come on, Gracie. Good night, Bill.
Good night.
Good night. Oh, there's just one more thing, Mr. Powell. I hope you won't practice your tap dancing tonight and keep us awake.
Oh, no. I'm William Powell. The one with the flying feet is Eleanor. You have us mixed up.
Oh, how could I get you mixed up with Mrs. Roosevelt?
Gracie.
Oh, good night.
Bill has got to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and start work on a picture.
Oh, really?
Yes, and he's worried about it. You see, the actress they've got opposite him can't handle the part. It's the part of a persecuted woman.
Persecuted woman?
Yeah, you know, her husband takes her baby away from her and all that. It's a tough part to play.
Oh, pooh. Any really great actress could play it. Betty Davis, Helen Hayes, Catherine Cornell, Greer Garth, and any one of us.
Us?
Sure.
Well, Gracie, go to bed. I'm going out and get a glass of milk.
Oh, so that's why poor Mr. Powell hasn't been able to sleep these for 3 nights. He thinks no one can play a persecuted woman. Well, his troubles are over. Mr. Powell? Mr. Powell?
Yeah? What is it?
Mr. Powell, I want my baby.
I beg your pardon?
My baby, I want my baby.
Is it in this bed?
I don't know where it is. George is hidden it from me.
Maybe he wants you to get some sleep.
Oh, how can you scoff? When that monster's taken my baby, my little golden-haired baby, torn from his mother's arms in the prime of his babyhood.
George did this?
Yes. Oh, I know. To you, George is just a puny, feeble weakling with a little round tummy, isn't he?
Frankly, yes.
No. That's how the whole world sees him. But underneath that little round tummy lurks a beast.
Incredible.
Gracie, I told you to let Mr. Powell alone. Now go to bed.
Oh, all right, dear. Good night.
And good night, Bill.
You cad. Huh? You little round-tummied cad. Bill, where's the baby?
The what?
The baby.
Do you feel all right, Bill?
You put on a fine act. Make the world think you're a great guy. Invite your friends here to sleep. But where's the baby?
You mean you can't sleep without a baby in the room?
Now, cut out that innocent stuff. Where are you hiding the child?
Gee, Bill, you better lie back and relax. I'm afraid losing 3 nights' sleep has kind of got you.
Never mind. Just get that baby and stop torturing a poor, innocent mother.
There, little mother. Now just get some sleep and you'll be all right in the morning. Then I'll bring you your baby.
I'm talking about Gracie's baby.
Gracie's? Gracie, come in here.
What is it, dear?
What did you tell William Powell about a baby?
Oh, that. I was just showing you how great a part I could play, or any great actress could play the persecuted woman in his picture.
Then you have no baby?
Oh, no. And how often I've envied you, Mr. Powell.
Me?
Oh, yes. Your son Dick is so talented.
Time for Felix Mills and his orchestra, and tonight the popular Gershwin's Fascinating Rhythm.
Mr. Powell, he just can't go to sleep. I've been in his room 20 times in the last hour, and every time I leave, he's wide awake.
See, when he told me he hadn't slept for 3 nights, I didn't realize he had insomnia.
The worst case I've ever seen. He's angry about it, too. I peeked in just now, and he was lying there growling to himself.
Well, maybe he's asleep. Maybe that's snoring.
Oh, George, I've been married to you long enough to know what snoring sounds like. He's growling. When you snore, you sound like you're eating a banana underwater.
Well, thanks, dear.
Oh, poor Mr. Powell. Insomnia is such a horrible thing. Well, as long as he can't sleep anyway, I might as well find out what he wants for breakfast. Mr. Powell? Yes. Mr. Powell?
Yes. What?
What would you like for breakfast?
Breakfast?
Yes.
Oh, is it morning already?
Oh, no, but I thought I'd ask you now. Do you like cereal?
Mad about it. Good night.
Toasted, shredded, puffed, or cracked?
Cracked.
Oh, dear. And the only kind I have is puffed.
Mrs. Burns.
But I can serve it with a hammer and let you crack it yourself.
I can think of nothing more invigorating. Good night.
Oh, no, that's not all. Do you like coffee?
Yeah, adore it. Good night.
Percolated, potted, drip, or ground?
Ground.
Oh, you're different from George. He's the drip type.
Yes, I've noticed that. Good night.
Oh, wait. Do you like eggs?
Yes. Yes, I like them fried, boiled, poached, scrambled, baked, and shirred. I believe that covers the field.
Oh, you don't like omelets?
My error. Yes, I'm devoted to omelets. Good night.
Cheese, tomato, onion, or Spanish?
Spanish.
Oh, I'm afraid I don't make that kind very well. I can't even rumba.
Well, I'm sure that anything you prepare will be delicious. And I hasten to add that you may place my napkin on the table, folded, creased, flounced, or flat. Good night.
Poor Mr. Powell. I bet you'd give anything to go to sleep, wouldn't you?
That I would.
I understand the county sheep is very good.
Yes.
I'm sorry we haven't got any.
Good night, Mrs. Burns.
Oh, Mr. Powell.
What now?
I forgot to say good night.
Yes, I've been lying here brooding about it.
Well, good night.
Good night.
Sleep tight.
I'm beginning to think that's the only way I could sleep.
Gracie, is he asleep yet?
No. Oh, maybe he'll go to sleep if you talk to him.
All right. I'll see what I can do. My, it's dark in here.
A peculiar habit of mine. I like to sleep in a dark room.
I'm not disturbing you, am I?
No. In fact, you're a great help.
Really?
Yes. I haven't slept in 3 nights, and your help making it 4.
Well, you'll soon be sleeping like a top, and there's nothing like a good night's sleep.
There's certainly nothing like it here.
Did you set the alarm clock?
Yes, for 6.
Well, you don't have to worry about it not going off. It's a darn good clock.
Fine.
Has sort of a sweet, mellow chime.
Oh, how nice. Why don't you stay a little longer, and we can listen to the chime together?
Good night, Bill.
Good night, George.
Is he asleep yet, George?
No, poor guy.
Wait. I know what'll put him to sleep. My father's insomnia medicine.
Medicine?
Well, sure. My father used to take it and sleep for 4 or 5 days at a time.
Well, what kind of a medicine is it?
I don't know. It's put out by those 2 famous doctors, Haig and Haig.
Oh, yes, that's a great medicine.
Oh, you answer the door, sweetheart. I'll go look for the medicine.
George, listen, George, I got to talk to you quick.
What's the matter, Bill?
Well, remember last week when you asked me to watch the house and see if there was some man annoying Gracie?
Yeah.
And I told you it was Paul Henreid, and it turned out I was wrong?
Yeah.
Well, I know who the rat is now.
Who?
William Powell.
Huh?
George, we got him red-handed. Just now as I walked by the house, I saw him in your guest room in pajamas.
Bill.
Well, don't stand there. Let's throw him out.
No, but, Bill.
All right, if you're afraid of him, I'll do it myself.
Bill, wait.
Get out of that bed, you rat!
What? I beg your pardon.
Get out of that bed and take your medicine.
If it's ether, I'll kiss you.
Look, Bill, I'm telling you, you're making another mistake.
Don't be afraid, George. I'll handle this. Now get this, Powell. George's wife loves him and only him. Oh, sure, to you, he's just a wrinkled, repulsive little hollow-chested pipsqueak.
Now, don't start that again.
But to his wife, he's as handsome, as precious as a bar of Swan.
Now, Bill.
Swan, the new white floating soap that's 4 wonderful soaps in one. The soap for your hands and face, for bathing the baby, for washing your dishes and doing your light laundry. 4 swell soaps in one. What a wartime buy.
Will you get this walking bubble bath out of here?
Now, Bill, will
Go home, Powell. Go home to your wife and baby. Ask them to forgive you. Take that little baby in your arms and jump in the bathtub.
What?
Show that baby how much you love it. Give it a bath with Swan. Babies are crazy about those mild, gentle Swan suds, and lots of doctors recommend Swan. It's pure as fine cast seals. And let your wife use Swan for her dishes.
George, tell me something. Has this whole evening been part of a gigantic plot to wreck me, physically and mentally? Is MGM tired of me? Have they taken this diabolical way to break my contract? Oh, no.
Well,
Bill.
why not? With what we got on Powell, they could break his contract in 2 like a bar of Swan soap.
Bill, will you do
Well,
me
Swan breaks in 2, so you put half in the bathroom for your hands and face, and half in the kitchen for dishes and light laundry.
Bill, listen to me. Mr. Powell is not interested in Gracie.
Huh?
He only came here to get some rest, didn't you, Mr. Powell?
Yes, fool that I am.
Gee, Mr. Powell, you must hate me.
Thank you, I will. Now, if you gentlemen will board your trains, I'll curl up here in Grand Central Station and go back to what I lovingly call sleep.
Good night. Well, good night, Mr. Powell.
Good night.
Oh, hello, Bill.
Hi, Gracie.
George, is Mr. Powell asleep yet?
Yeah, he's wider awake than ever.
Oh, my goodness. I've never seen such insomnia. I'll see what I can do.
Oh, thanks,
Mr. Powell? Mr. Powell?
Huh? Oh, what is it?
It's me, Gracie.
Oh, no.
Oh, now, don't worry too much if you can't sleep. Thomas Edison only slept 4 hours a night.
Really? When was he a guest here?
Oh, I just had an idea. I know what'll put you to sleep. You just relax while I go get him.
Him? What is it?
No, I'm not going to tell you. It'll be a surprise. You'll see in a minute.
Oh, what a night. Oh, swan soap.
All right, dear. Go ahead.
Go to sleep, my baby. My baby. My baby.
What's that? What's that horrible noise?
Why, George is singing you a lullaby. Sing some more, dear.
Go to sleep, my baby.
Oh, shut up. Huh? This is the end. I'm getting out of here. Give me my clothes.
Oh, but Mr. Powell, don't you want to sleep?
Sleep? There's no such thing as sleep. Sleep, sleep.
Well, George, worst case of insomnia I've ever seen.
Yeah, poor guy. Well, come on, Gracie. Let's get to bed.
You know, George, I don't think I'm going to be able to sleep now.
You don't?
No, sweetheart. Would you...
Oh, sure.
Go to sleep, my baby.
Oh, George, you're wonderful.
Baby. My baby.
George and Gracie will be back again immediately, and I'm just going to take a moment to remind you that we have all the soap we need in this country, but we haven't any to waste. Save soap. For instance, when you wash your hands and face with Swan, don't make more lather than you need. You'll get plenty in a few seconds. And don't put your Swan in a wet soap dish. A wet soap dish will melt any soap. And here's another good tip. When you wash your dishes, scrape the plates clean first and rinse them before you wash them. Then a few swishes of Swan in the water or some Swan on your dish rag or mop, and you're all set. Just remember, don't waste soap. Here they are again, George and Gracie.
Oh, George, next week we're going to have 2 guest stars. Adolphe Monjou and his wife, Marie Teasdale.
Gee, that's swell. You know, Monjou is the best-dressed man in Hollywood.
Yeah, I know. You and Mr. Monjou have a lot in common.
Well, thanks.
Yes, you're both married to beautiful women.
Our guest tonight, William Powell, will soon be seen in the Metro-Goldwyn Mayer picture Heavenly Body. The makers of Swan, the new white floating soap, join George and Gracie in inviting you to tune in to your Columbia station again next Tuesday, same time, when we'll have as our guests Adolphe Monjou and Marie Teasdale. The following week, Fred Astaire. Remember George Burns and Gracie Allen, CBS, next Tuesday night.
Show transcribed, written by Joe Connolly and Bob Mosier, featuring Ernestine Wade, Johnny Lee, Jester Harrison, Eddie Marr, Jeff Alexander's music, yours truly, Harlow Wilcox, and starring radio's all-time favorites, Freeman Gosden and Charles Correll, Amos and Andy.
So old Goofy got into town today, huh, Sapphire?
George, my brother Leroy is not goofy.
Not Goofy. He's nuttier than a pecan patch. That personality he got, he's about as warm and friendly as an octopus in the bathtub.
George, you always carry on like this when Leroy comes to town. What has you got against him?
What has I got against him? That's like asking a fella in the death house what he got against electricity. Tell me this, how is he arriving in the horse van again?
Now, George, you know Leroy is a horse trainer. He has to ride with the horses to keep them quiet.
Keep him quiet. What's the matter? You afraid he's going to blab about them shots he's been giving him?
My brother never fixed a horse race in his life.
Oh, no? What about last year down in Florida? He rubbed the horse down with alcohol and then made the mistake of giving the jockey that electric whip. In the home stretch, the jockey hit him with the thing, and that horse crossed the finish line flaming like a plum pudding on Christmas Eve.
George, that's enough of that. The man Leroy trained the horses for in Florida went broke. Leroy come up here to make some new contacts. Now, I want you to be nice to him at supper tonight.
Oh, supper? You're paying an eating call, huh?
You be nice to him, you hear?
All right. I ain't never seen no human being eat like he do. He buries his face right down in the plate and he never looks up once. The only way I can figure it out while he's eating, he must breathe through his ears.
Well, Leroy, would you like another piece of pot roast?
Not right now, sister dear. I've had a genteel sufficiency, enough to substantiate my capacity.
What's that, Leroy?
Roughly speaking, it means the pig has had enough swill.
Well, you two men have a nice chat. I'll get the dessert.
Fine. Now I'll have another roll yet. Well, brother-in-law, dear, I'm broke, so I couldn't bring you no present. I guess while I'm in your midst, I'll just have to spread the sweetness and light.
Yeah, well, you can spread that as thick as you want to, but don't spread that butter so thick on that roll, will you? Tell me this, so that fella you work for went broke, huh, Goofy?
Yeah, he didn't even have the cash to pay me off.
No.
He settled our account by giving me one of his horses.
Oh, he give you a racehorse, huh?
Well, he was a racehorse, but he's a little old, so we've been using him as a lead pony. I'd sell him if I could get $100 or so for him, but it takes a wealthy man to own a racehorse.
Yeah, racehorse for sale, wealthy man. I just thinking here, my friend Andy Brown just got an insurance check for $400. Leroy, you got all the papers on this your horse you talking about here?
Oh, yeah, but Kingfish, this ain't going to be easy to pull off. After all, this horse won't exactly run like the Super Chief.
He really broken down, huh?
Well, he's a little wind-blown, and his legs done thickened up on him a couple of months ago.
Well, don't worry about that. I shouldn't have no trouble after all, and his head done thickened up on him long before that.
Say, Kingfish, I come down here to see...
Listen, Brother Andy, I ain't got no time to mess with you today. I'm going to be too busy here with the horse auction.
What is this, a horse auction?
Yeah.
You is selling horses?
Yes, Andy, the New York Racing Commission just made me official horse auctioneer. I ain't got my official insignia yet, but, it's a beautiful thing. 2 cross jockeys rampant on a field of pari-nuptial machines. Yes, it's signed by the president of the commission, Mr. Alfred Grinning Vanderbilt.
Well, if you run a horse auction, where's the horses?
Andy, don't display your ignorance like that, my boy. You know you couldn't bring no thoroughbred horses in here from Jamaica on the subway, could you?
Well, no, I guess you couldn't. But don't the people that buys the thoroughbreds want to see them?
Well, listen, Andy, the people who buys racehorses are so familiar with all the horses that you don't have to have the horses at the auction.
The horses must be pretty familiar with the people, too, because there ain't none of them here either.
Tell you the truth, I expected a big turnout of millionaires today, but some of them run into a little trouble. Mr. Whitney was taking a bag of money to the bank, straining himself, listening it up to the teller's window. One of the Vanderbilts was due, but he was down on Wall Street sitting on the curb and the taxi cab run over his foot. And Another millionaire got his head caught in a bank vault, so I don't think he'll make it. Always got a problem with the rich people, you know.
Well, it's too bad that you can't hold the auction today.
No, Andy. According to the racing laws, the auction must be held on time. This one's scheduled for 3 o'clock. Let's see. Holy mackerel, it's 3 o'clock now. Well, holla cool, here goes. Gentlemen, first horse today is a fine chestnut scallion. Bred in England by Lord Chutney, out of Petrel by Berkeley Square. One of the finest horses on the turf today. Bidding on this fine steed will start at $300.
$300?
Sold Andy Brown. Auction over.
Wait a minute. These horse auctions is pretty fast, ain't they?
Oh, yeah. The racing commission won't let you waste no time. Once a man opens his mouth, he's good as dead. Oh, that's the law, boy.
Listen, Kingfish, I don't want no race horse.
Now, wait a minute, Andy. It's the law. You done bought a horse. Ain't no sense in dragging the police in this thing, is it?
Yeah, but I tell you...
Wait a minute, Sheriff. Now, I'm going to tell you something, Andy. It'll be great for you, boy, owning a race horse.
Well...
Oh, yeah, your picture in the newspaper and everything. Gals will go for you in a big shot, you know. They say you a big shot. They're going for you in a big way, boy.
Yeah, that's right. Well, it was only $300.
Yeah, that's all it is. $300, you boy.
But I don't know nothing about him. All I know is he's a scalded chestnut. What is the name of this horse?
The name?
Yeah.
Well, I tell you, Andy, in racing circles, the name ain't important. It's the way he runs.
Well, I know that, but what's his name?
Well, like I say, Andy, the name ain't important. It's the breeding that counts.
Listen, I don't care if he breathes through his nose or his mouth. I want to be sure that I didn't buy no dog. Now, what's his name?
Rover.
Kingfish, the deal is off.
Oh, I'm sorry, Andy. My hands are tied by the racing commission. There's an English horse, too. They'd get Scotland Yard after me, too, you know.
Well, I don't want to get you in no trouble.
Now, it's a deal. A deal is a deal, Andy, and this here is a deal.
Well, okay. Here's the money.
Yeah.
There he is. $300.
Now, you'll never regret it, Andy. You done bought yourself a wonderful racehorse. And I'll tell you what I'll do, son. For another $25 a week, I'll go out to Jamaica Racetrack and train the horse for you personal.
Oh, that's great, Kingfish. Say, by the way, how old is this horse?
How old?
Yeah.
Well, I guarantee you one thing, Andy. You ain't buying no young squirt. You have got an experienced, mature animal that's been around and knows the ropes. Now, that
It's music time as Amos and Andy present The Four Knights.
Goodbye. Don't cry. The choo-choo train that takes me away from you. Nowhere to tell us that it makes me kiss me, touchy, and then do it over again. Watch for the mail, I never fail. If you don't get a letter, then you know I'm in jail. Say don't cry. Say goodbye. Yesterday I heard a lover sigh. Goodbye. Oh my. 7 times he got aboard his train. And 7 times he hurried back to kiss his love again. And tell her say goodbye. Don't cry. The choo-choo train that takes me away from you. No words can tell us that it makes me kiss me, touch me, and then do it over again. time. Woo, woo. Step on the gate. Woo, woo. The train is waiting. Goodbye, Tennessee. Goodbye.
This again, Andy, will you, and kind of tell it to me slow. You has done bought what?
That's right, Amos. I done bought a racehorse. His name is Rover.
Rover? Oh, me.
Yeah, and if he win a lot of races, maybe I'll have a lot of money and strain myself like Mr. Whitney.
Well, Andy, of all the crazy things I done ever heard of, I think this is about the craziest thing you done ever done. You ain't got the kind of money it takes to keep a racehorse.
Oh, what you talking about? He's gonna win a lot of races. He's out at Jamaica right now.
Yeah, what do he look like, Andy?
Well, I ain't seen him yet. My trainer won't let me.
Oh, you got a trainer, huh? Who is the trainer?
The Kingfish.
Oh, the Kingfish is training him. Now, ain't that just great? Oh, son, you ought to look into this horse thing.
Oh, he a genuine racehorse. I got the papers on him and everything. Oh, sure. The Kingfish gonna put him in a race as soon as he's ready. Say, by the way, I got an appointment to talk with my trainer right now.
Yeah, well, I hope you know what you're doing, Andy.
Oh, boy, this is gonna be great. And if my horse gets real good, I'm gonna take him out to California and have him run at Santa Anemic.
Come in, Brother Andy. How's the big horse owner?
How is you, trainer, dear?
Oh, fine.
Say, has you found a race for my horse yet?
No, Andy. We getting him in shape, old boy. Yeah, we're having a little trouble getting him back in the starting gate.
You is, huh?
Yeah, can't seem to find no reverse on him. Yeah, oh, you got yourself a high-geared front runner, though, Andy. Great horse.
He's doing all right, though, huh?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, don't want to bring him along too fast, Andy. Get him overconfident, you know. Yeah, glad you're here, though. I got a few bills I'd like to go over with you.
Bill, listen, I done already paid you for the horse.
Well, he's in training, ain't he? You got to eat.
Well, let me see them bills.
Yeah, there it is right there. Look at that.
Oats, $2. Hay, $2. Clover, $2. Alfalfa, $2. Corn, $2. Kingfish, this horse is going to $2 me to death. Tell me this, ain't there no horse blue plate special for 75 cents or something?
Oh, no. Now you got to expect these little things, Andy. You was a big racehorse typhoon.
Huh?
Oh, yeah, all the gals are talking about you, boy. I hear them all over town. Say, Andy Brown got a horse. Oh, they're really crazy about you.
Yeah, well, let me look here. This next bill here is for shoes.
Yeah, that's right, Andy. The horse needed 2 shoes, so I bought a pair. Yeah, so there wouldn't be no argument. I brung the receipted bill. There you is right there, $22.50.
Where's the receipted bill?
Right there, Andy. The one from Florsheim.
I see here the horse wears 11 and a half beads.
He got big feet, all right. Yeah, give him a nice grip on the turf there, you see. Yeah, he'll be a cinch if he ever runs in the snow. Snowshoe his way right to a win, you know.
Well, how come you get him tan shoes?
Well, he's a chestnut scallion, ain't he? I wanted to match him up.
Wait a minute, I better look over the rest of these bills here.
Yeah, well, now let me explain that next one to you, Dandy. You see, Brother Andy, old pal, a horse gets lonesome in a stall by itself.
You do?
And I found out that every horse in the world has got a mascot. So I done bought him a mascot.
Yeah, well, I don't want him to get lonesome.
And then I finally hit on just the right animal. I got him a chicken. There's the bill right there.
$3.50 for a chicken. Yeah, I notice here the chicken was dressed. Do that help him not to get lonesome?
Oh, yeah. Done the trick all right. Yeah.
Hey, what's this bill here? Blanket, $47.50.
Electricity, $3.75.
Electric blanket.
Oh.
Now, here you is, Andy. The bills come to a total of $93.50.
Yeah, well, all I got on me is this 100.
Yeah, well, that's fine, Andy. I'll take that.
Yeah, but listen, Kingfish, this is getting into a lot of money. I want to see that horse.
Well, now, wait a minute, Andy. You'll see him when he's ready. Just give me a week or 10 days more of this training, and I'll have him in good shape.
Yeah, well, wait a minute. Don't go away here. You give me my change from that 100. You owe me $6.50.
Yeah, well, don't worry about it, Andy. I'll tell you what. I'll just buy the horse a couple of more chickens.
Yeah, well, there's no sense letting the chicken get lonely either.
No.
Calhoun, has you been able to find out anything about my horse, Rover?
Well, Andy, the first thing I done was call the raising commission, and I found out one thing without the shadow of a doubt.
Yeah, what's that?
He definitely is a horse.
Yeah, well, I figured he was. Ain't you found out nothing else?
Well, I stopped off at the office of the raising farm and got this book. It's got a record of every horse that done ever run anything. All we got to do is look up your name.
Yeah, that's the stuff. Get it open there, Calhoun.
Well, now, let's see here. Rebound, renovation, reputation, Rover. Here we is, Rover. Say, look here. 1 year he won twice and finished in the money 3 times.
Hot dog.
Oh, yeah, had a big season the year at the Chicago Fair.
You know something? I think this horse is even more mature than I think he was. Ain't he done nothing since then?
Well, let's see. Since his last win, he been to the post 196 times.
Well, how has he done recently?
Not so good. The last time out, he didn't even make it to the post.
Oh, me. I just done bought a pig, ain't I?
Yeah.
Calhoun, what can I do?
Well, Andy, sometimes these old nags make a comeback. The thing to do is make the Kingfish take you to Jamaica and look him over.
Yeah, that's the stuff. That's just what I'll do.
If he's as bad as his record, I'd make the Kingfish give me my money back.
Yeah, but tell me this. You think there's any chance of his horse being any good at all, Calhoun?
Well, I was noticing in the book here. In 1949, he won another race here. But they done disqualified him.
Disqualified him?
Yeah, they tried to give him a saliva test, but he didn't have no saliva.
Amos, Andy, the Kingfish, and all the gang will return in a moment with the climax to our story. Meanwhile, here are the 4 Knights.
Has anybody seen my girl? 5'2", eyes are blue. Oh, what goes 5'2"? Has anybody seen my girl? Turned up nose, turned down hose, never had another beau. Has anybody seen my girl? Now if you run into a 5'2", covered with furs, diamond ring, and all those things, you can bet your life it isn't hers. Oh, could she love? Could she woo? Could she coo? Has anybody seen my girl? 5'2", 2 eyes so blue. Oh, those 5'2". Has anybody seen my girl? Turned up nose, turned down hole. I'll bet she's never had another beau. Has anybody seen my girl? Now if you run into a 5'2", covered with fur, diamond rings and all those things, bet your life it isn't her. my gal. Buddy, sing my gal.
Well, now listen, Brother Andy, there was no sense in you coming all the way from New York out here to Jamaica. I done told you that I was taking care of your horse.
Look, Kingfish, I done found out about this rover. I wants my money back. He ain't nothing but a broke-down nag.
Well, now, Andy, you can't say that. Now, wait till you see the horse. Now, come on, just follow me down here a little bit. Here's the store right down here. Come on here. Here we is. Now, just look in there and see that beautiful animal.
Where?
Laying right there in the straw.
Give me my money back.
Now, wait a minute. Now, wait a minute. He's just conserving his strength, Andy. He's getting up now. Look at him there, Andy. Look at there. Ain't that a proud animal? Yeah, look at that head. It raises up like a mountain peak. And that neck there sloping gently downward like the rolling hills.
Yeah, in the middle of him looks like he had a landslide.
Oh, no, Andy. That slight sag in the middle is typical of the breed. There's underslung like a Cadillac, cuts down the wind resistance.
Hey, holy mackerel, look round his neck. The hair's gone. He's got the mange.
No, Andy, I'll stand that to you. No. That's thorn scratches when they put the wreath of roses around his neck in the winner's circle. Put the hair off him there.
What's them things on his legs there?
On his legs? Bandages. All racehorses wears them, you know.
Yeah? But ain't that a splint on the front one there?
No, Andy, that's just where he bowed a tendon there. Oh, nothing to worry about. He just run a little on the bias, you see. That'll clip back into place any day, that thing will.
Kingfish, this is the saddest looking animal I done ever seen. That is an old nag.
No, he ain't, Andy.
Well, just the same, I want to have a look in his mouth.
Now, wait a minute, Andy.
Oh, wait a minute, nothing. Wait a minute. Come on, horsey, come here. Open your mouth. Open up. Holy mackerel, look at that, Kingfish. This horse ain't got a tooth in his mouth.
Well, now, I'll explain that to you, Andy. In his last race, the jockey pulled him up too short and stripped him clean. That's what...
Listen here. I don't want this no-good horse. Now, I want my money back.
Nothing doing, Andy. Now, you bought the horse fair and square.
And you keep your big, fat, toothless mouth out of this.
Now, look, Andy, don't be too hasty here. Now, I've been talking to some of the trainers around here, and they say that maybe in just the right spot, this horse might win.
Oh, listen, that horse couldn't win nothing. Kingfish, you is fired. I'm going to get me a real horse trainer to look at him. Then I'm going to take you into court and sue you.
Well, now, wait a minute, Shander.
No, sir. And another thing, I has done bought and paid for them Florsheim shoes, so get them off of your feet and put them on my horse.
What is this, Calhoun? You say that Andy has done entered that broken-down horse in a race?
Yeah, he's running in the 8th race at Jamaica this afternoon.
Why, that crazy horse ain't got a chance. What's the matter, Andy? What is his?
Well, Andy got himself a trainer, and the trainer don't think he got a chance, but he'd like to put the horse in the race to see how he does.
That chance he got with that old nag. Yeah, the only future ahead of that horse is hamburger. Kingfish, come in. Well, Amos, it sure was nice of you and Ruby to ask me over this afternoon for early supper. Sapphire and her brother went over to their mamas tonight. Well, we glad to have you over, Kingfish. You got some new furniture here, ain't you, Emma? Oh, yeah, we got a new sofa and that combination radio. The rug is new, too. Oh, by the way, Kingfish, I done asked Andy up for supper, too. Uh-oh. I don't think he's speaking to me on account of that racehorse deal. Oh, well, you two is always squabbling. Andy ought to be here, though. He was too excited to go out to the track. He was going to listen to the horse race up here on the radio. Say, I'll tune it in now and be all set when he gets here. Just sit down there on the sofa, Kingfish. I'll tune it in. Yeah, let me sit down here. That rover ain't got a chance, Amos. He ain't got a chance. Well, here's the station. The race is on.
At the half mile, it's Cupid Doll in front by 3 lengths, Rose Petal second, and between horses Au Revoir third. Moving into contention is Dewdrop and Rover.
Well, the race is already on, and Rover's fifth. Poor Andy done missed it. Oh, the horse will never last, Amos. Never hold up.
Going into the far turn is Cupid Doll still in front by 2 lengths, Rose Petal by a length, and now Rover is moving up fast on the outside.
Holy mackerel, listen to that horse go.
Turning for home is Cupid Doll and Rose Petal, and here comes Rover.
Come on, Rover.
In the stretch is Cupid Doll by a head and Rover. Cupid Doll and Rover is Rover and Cupid Doll. Rover is driving fast. Is Rover by half a length, and at the line of finish is Rover getting up and winning it by a length and a half. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Rover wins the $1,500 pace, Cupid Doll second, and Au Revoir third.
Cut that off, Amos.
Rover is owned by Mr. Andrew H.
Holy smokes, Amos. And this horse won. Yeah. I'm so excited I'm shaking all over. It's too bad that Andy missed it, too. He don't know it, but he is getting a $1,500 purse there. Yeah. Well, excuse me, Kingfish. I'm going back in the kitchen and tell Ruby about it. Oh, me. How you like that lucky stiff Andy? Andy Brown, I never thought that he would...
Hey, is anybody home here?
Oh, come in, brother Andy. Come in, old boy.
Oh, it's you. If I'd known you was here, I wouldn't have come.
Well, now, don't get so, Andy, old pal. You didn't listen to no radio on the way over here, nothing, did you, boy?
Radio? No. What you getting at?
Oh, nothing. I just wondered. You know, Andy, old pal, dear friend, I've been thinking, I've been thinking how I'd gypped you, and, well, it's done made me feel bad, Andy.
Well, that's funny. It never affected your health before.
Now, look, Andy, I tell you what I'm going to do. I really love you, boy. Just for old time's sake, I'm going to buy that horse back from you. Now, I got the money right here, and I'll give it to you, and we can call the whole thing square.
Well, I don't know, Kingfish. I know he ain't going to do nothing in that race today, but, you know, I got a kind of affection for that horse. When he grins at me with them toothless gums. Very touching. It kind of brings tears to my eyes.
Listen, Andy, I got an extra $150. I'll even throw that in to cover all the expenses it done cost you.
Well, $450. Okay, Kingfish. It's a deal.
Yeah, shake hands, your boy. Now, here is the $450. Yeah, you is.
Yeah.
Now, you just give me the horse's papers. That's it.
Yep.
Yeah, get him out there.
Okay. There you is.
All right, now, Andy, in other words, the horse is mine, and you never owned it.
Well, that suits me fine.
Fine. All right, the deal is over. And now, Andy, I'd like to inform you that the race has already been won. My horse, Rover, won a $1,500 purse. Really a smart businessman, boy.
How did you know that horse won?
I just heard it over the radio before you come in.
That was no radio, Kingfish. That was a record I had made, and Amos played it just for your benefit.
Oh, no,
listening to the Amos and Andy Show with all the Amos and Andy characters, the Four Knights, and Jeff Alexander's orchestra. Join us again next week for Amos and Andy. This is the United States Armed Forces Radio Service.
Palmolive Soap, your beauty hope, and Luster Cream Shampoo for soft, glamorous, caressable hair bring you Our Miss Brooks, starring Eve Arden.
Our Miss Brooks teaches English at Madison High School, and what with the overcrowded classrooms and a rather rigorous schedule, has had a pretty busy time during the past semester.
But not busy enough, evidently, to suit Mr. Osgood Conklin, Madison's beloved warden, a principal. Just recently, Mr. Conklin organized a school banking system. And who do you think was selected for the honor of handling this noble project at no increase in salary? Well, it wasn't Barney Baruch. I've had to take care of all the records single-handed. Oh, I'm not complaining. I think it's admirable for people to be saving and frugal, especially if you've got something to save. But I didn't count on the complications that set in last week. It seems that after school Thursday, I had $25 of the students' money in an envelope, which I placed on the dresser in my room at Mrs. Davis's. I intended to deposit it Friday morning and had asked Mrs. Davis to wake me at the usual time. I was sleeping very heavily when she knocked on my door.
Connie? Oh, Connie. Connie, are you in there?
No, I'll be back in 15 minutes.
Come on now, Connie. You've got to get up.
Why?
To go to school.
I graduated from school a long time ago. Well, not such a long time ago.
Before you do anything else, dear, I want you to see the surprise I've got for you here in this box.
In this box?
Go on, open it, Connie.
Oh, I don't understand, Mrs. Davis. It isn't my birthday or anything. Why, it's a dress. Oh, you shouldn't have done it, Mrs. Davis.
Oh, sure I should have.
No, you shouldn't.
Yes, I should. I bought it with practically found money.
Found money?
Yes, I found it on your dresser yesterday. I knew that you'd left it for me to cover the back rent you owe. But frankly, Connie, I didn't expect it so soon and so...
Mrs. Davis.
Yes, Connie.
You shouldn't have done it.
But why not? Don't you like the dress, Connie?
Sure I like the dress. I love the dress. But will the district attorney care for it?
What district attorney?
Well, don't you see, Mrs. Davis, that wasn't my money. I was going to deposit that for the students. And today also happens to be the day Mr. Conklin inspects my bank records.
That is a coincidence, isn't it?
Yeah, the happiest coincidence since Frankenstein met the Wolfman. Look, I know you meant well, and I hate to hurt your feelings, but really...
Oh, you won't hurt my feelings, Connie. I'm a lot like my sister Angela that way. She just refuses to harbor bad thoughts.
That's very nice, Mrs. Davis, but from what you've told me about Angela, sometimes she doesn't harbor any thoughts at all.
Yes, she is terribly absent-minded, poor dear. But sometimes that's for the best.
What's for the best?
What's for the best for who?
If you'll punch my transfer, I'd like to get off here. You see, Mrs. Davis, I've got a big problem today. That money that paid for that dress didn't belong to me.
It didn't?
I've already told you, Mrs. Davis, it was part of the students' savings.
Oh, Connie, then you shouldn't have done it.
I didn't do it. You did it.
Ignorance of the law is no excuse.
Oh, this is terrible. Let's see that box again. Oh, you got the dress at Sherry's department store. Maybe they'll take it back and refund the money.
You see, Connie, I thought you left the money for the back rent you owe. And so
I know you did, Mrs. Davis, and I appreciate the thought more than I can tell you. But if you'll excuse me, I've got to get ready now. Walter Denton's picking me up in a few minutes.
Oh, did you have another accident with your car, Connie?
Just a slight collision with a new Hudson, Mrs. Davis.
What happened?
Well, you know the ad they have? Hudson, the car you step down into?
Yes.
Well, this one I drove down into. Do you know how to get to Sherry's department store, Walter? I've got to stop there for a minute.
Oh, sure, Miss Brooks. I'll get you there in no time. By the way, how do you like the car today?
The car? Oh, it looks fine, Walter.
I polished all 4 fenders the other day.
Well, I'm sure that'll improve the appearance of... What fenders? You haven't got any fenders on the car at all.
Oh, of course not. They're home in my garage. I only put them on weekends.
Weekends?
Well, sure. Even people don't dress up every day in the week.
I see. No sense in hitting a sloppy pedestrian with a natty car.
Exactly. You know, human beings are a lot like cars if they only stop to think about it. Take yourself, for instance. The way you look this morning.
I know. Stanley Steamer.
Yeah, I'm only trying to be helpful, Miss Brooks. You look a little worried about something. Is there anything I can do?
Nothing I can think of offhand, Walter. Just keep it under your hat.
You keep what under my hat?
The information you're going to worm out of me by the time we get to Sherry's.
Oh. Well, what is the information?
It's about the school banking system.
Oh, that. I know that's a big pain in the neck to you, but that's nothing to get depressed about. Gosh, did you see the papers this morning?
No, I didn't get a chance.
Well, you ought to read the story in the bulletin. Oh, that'd cheer you up. It's all about a woman embezzler who was caught stealing $19,000 from the Federal Trust Company. They just gave her 10 years in the clink.
I feel better already.
Well, she didn't even get a chance to spend any of the dough she embezzled. I guess honesty's the best policy after all.
Wish I'd taken out a policy like that.
And right in the same paper is another story that'd make you glad just to be working at school, Miss Brooks. It's about conditions in the state reformatory for women.
No good, huh?
Deplorable. Oh, they make the poor inmates mop the floors all day long. And if they haven't got any mops, which they usually don't have because they're so short of everything, why, then the women have to mop the floors with their hands.
How awful. Oh, here's the store, Walter. Drive up in the back, will you? That's the quickest way to get to the basement.
Basement?
Certainly. That's where they keep the mops, isn't it? Let's see now. Adjustment office. This must be it. I beg your pardon.
Come in. You're my very first adjustment today. Sit down, won't you, Miss...
Brooks, Constance Brooks.
How do you do, Miss Brooks? I'm Mr. Pearson. Would you like a cigarette?
No, thanks. I'm in kind of a...
cup of coffee?
No, I've got to get to school pretty quickly.
Good for you. There's nothing I like better than a nice, punctual pupil.
This interview may not be as unpleasant as I anticipated. I'm not a pupil, Mr. Pearson. I'm a teacher at Madison High. But the reason I dropped in here is to return a dress someone bought for me.
Well, you know the motto of Sherry's, don't you? If you're not satisfied, we cheerfully refund your money.
That's what I've heard.
And that's what we do. Now then, about this dress. You don't like it?
Yes, I do. I like it very much.
But it doesn't fit quite properly.
Well, I can't be certain about that because, frankly, I didn't
Is
even...
the color. Oh, you don't like the color.
I think the color is peachy.
I see. And so it clashes with your complexion.
You don't understand. I just can't keep the dress. I've got to get the money back.
Well, that's what we're here for. In Sherry's, your money is cheerfully refunded.
She'd stop being cheerful and start refunding.
Now then, first of all, we must have a valid basis for adjustment. Tell me, how did you find out that the material in this garment is inferior?
Inferior? I didn't find out that...
The sales lady told you, didn't she? Miss Morgan.
Miss Morgan?
So, you know her. Well, there's no sense trying to shield her, Miss Brooks. I knew there was a leak somewhere. We'll have a loyalty check in the morning.
Look, somebody bought me this dress with money that, well, it shouldn't have been spent.
Why not, Miss Brooks? Don't answer that. I know. It was counterfeit money. Young woman, I'm surprised at you. Surprised and shocked.
Now, just a minute, Mr. Pearson. There was nothing wrong with the money Mrs. Davis paid for this dress.
So, Mrs. Davis paid for the dress. Miss Brooks, what are you doing with Mrs. Davis's dress under your arm? I know. You couldn't afford the dress yourself, but you needed money. So when you saw it lying there on Mrs. Davis's bed, you couldn't resist the temptation. You picked it up and brought it here for a refund. Oh, you poor misguided creature.
guy really runs the gamut. Listen, Mr. Pearson, Mrs. Davis is my landlady. She bought me a dress for a present in this store yesterday.
Well, why didn't you say so, Miss Brooks? You see, yesterday we had our final clearance sale of ladies' dresses. And, of course, in a closeout of that sort, there can never be any refund.
What?
But remember, anything else you buy can be returned within 60 days, and Sherry's will cheerfully refund your money.
Well, that's just dandy. And the next time you have a sale, be sure and get in touch with me.
Yeah, I'll be glad to. Where can we reach you?
Just drop into any post office. You'll find my number under my picture.
Our Miss Brooks, starring Eve Arden, will continue in just a moment. But first, here is Vern Smith.
Ladies, what's your complexion problem?
My skin's so dingy.
Mine's oily.
My skin's dull, coarse-looking.
Doctors have proved that many complexion problems respond wonderfully to proper cleansing with Palmolive soap, regardless of age, skin type, or previous beauty care. Oily skin looks less oily. Dull, drab skin fresher and brighter. Coarse-looking skin appears finer. Even tiny blemishes, incipient blackheads disappear or improve. To win such complexion improvements, simply use Palmolive soap. Nothing but Palmolive, the way doctors advise.
Wash your face with Palmolive soap 3 times a day. Massage with Palmolive's wonderful beauty lather for 60 seconds each time to get its full beautifying effect. Then rinse.
Look for improvements in your complexion within 14 days. For remember, 36 doctors, leading skin specialists, advise this way for 1,285 women with all types of skin. Young, old, dry, oily, normal. And proved it could bring lovelier complexions to 2 out of 3. So forget all other beauty care. Use Palmolive soap the way these doctors advise for a fresher, brighter complexion.
For loveliness all over, use big, thrifty bath size Palmolive in your tub or shower.
Well, Sherry's department store lived up to its reputation by refunding the dress and cheerfully keeping my money. In a way, it's a good thing I had the extra dress with me, because when we got to school, I stepped out of Walter's car and right through the hem of the dress I had on. Well, knowing I had to face Mr. Conklin, I felt pretty panicky. It's bad enough to have your spirits dragging without having your hem down there, too. But I finally hit on a pretty good scheme. Between classes, I dropped into the domestic science room to have my old dress patched up and to try and sell the new one. Excuse me, Miss Atterbury, but I wonder if you could help me out.
Oh, it's Miss Brooks. Well, come in, dear. What can I do for you?
Well, I tore the hem of this dress I've got on, and I'd like to get it fixed up.
I'll do whatever I can. Some of these sewing machines are in pretty bad shape. There's one old singer here that hasn't worked for weeks.
That's too bad. Maybe you could teach him to dance. Or sew the seam by hand.
Let's see that hem now. Pretty bad rip. Take quite a while to fix it.
Well, then maybe I'd better slip on this other dress till you're done. I'll just step behind this screen here and take this one off. Oh, there. You got it?
Yes, I'll start stitching it up right away.
Good. I'll certainly appreciate it, Miss Atterbury. Well, I've got this one on. How do you like it?
Why, it's lovely, Miss Brooks. I wish I had one like it.
You have, Miss Atterbury. I've decided this dress is not my type, so you're welcome to it for $25.
Only $25? That's a steal, Miss Brooks.
Let's use another word, shall we? Now, if you'll excuse me, Miss Atterbury, I've got to get over to Mr. Conklin's office.
All right, Miss Brooks, and I'll have your other dress all fixed when you come back. Then we'll try the new one on me. Of course, I weigh 186, but I hope I can get into it.
Just have the $25 ready. You'll get into it. Oh, one thing, Miss Atterbury.
Yes?
While I'm gone, try and lose a few pounds.
Now, see here, Harriet. Just because you're my daughter doesn't give you the privilege of taking time off from your study period. As principal of this school, I must...
Daddy, it'll only take a minute. I just want your permission to withdraw $3 from my school savings account. I've just got to have a new sweater.
Harriet, it distresses me to hear you talk this way. Why, do you realize that it's invariably a craving for unnecessary finery that is the basis for most of the crimes committed by women?
But, Daddy...
Just this morning, there was a story in the paper about a woman being held as an embezzler. And do you know what her alibi was? She needed clothes. I tell you, it's a disgrace what this civilization is coming to. Show me a well-dressed girl who has only a moderate income, and I'll show you an embezzler.
Good morning, Mr. Conklin.
Oh, good morning, Miss Brooks. I see we have on a new dress.
Oh, is yours new, too? This is sort of new. It's, well, yes. Hello, Harriet.
Hi, Miss Brooks.
Run along, Harriet. I have some important matters to discuss with Miss Brooks.
All right, Daddy. We'll take my matter up later on, huh?
Dismissed, girl.
Yes, sir.
Now then, Miss Brooks, have you brought all the student banking records with you?
Well, not exactly all of them, Mr. Conklin.
Then how many?
None of them. You see, I wanted to double-check some of the items before you and I did the final recap, and,
What are you trying to tell me, Miss Brooks?
Oh, I'm not trying to tell you anything, Mr. Conklin. The less, the better. You see, there's one more deposit I've got to make today before the records tally.
Very well, Miss Brooks. I'll wait until lunch period.
We'll have a long lunch period, Mr. Conklin. It may take me quite a while.
To do what, Miss Brooks?
To start a pyramid club. See you later, Mr. Oh, you did a wonderful job on my old dress, Miss Atterbury. Now, suppose you try on this new one.
All right, Miss Brooks. But I'm so much heavier than you, I hope I can get it on.
Oh, you'll get it on easily. I have to smear you with butter. Now, off with the old, and on with the new. Lift your arms. That's a good girl. Now, down over your shoulders. Fine. Past your waist. Good. Now, past your... There. Oh, it fits you like a glove, Miss Atterbury.
Feels like I'm standing in the pinky.
Well, close the zipper along the side.
The zipper? All right. Oh, it won't move.
Oh, nonsense. Take a deep breath. Now hold it. Oh, there we are.
When can I breathe out?
Oh, don't be a child. You look lovely in it, Miss Atterbury.
Thanks, Miss Brooks. But I can't hold my breath any longer. What happened?
Nothing much. The zipper just returned to at ease. You know, that's what I like about this dress, Miss Atterbury. It brings out the real you. God love you. I guess we will have to alter it a little, but if you'll just give me that $25 now, I'd like to go and
Just a minute, Miss Brooks. I don't know if I want to buy this dress right now. Here, let me take another deep breath.
The latest thing, plunging neckline. You know, the fashion experts say that necklines are going further south every year.
I know.
Of course, this one's on its way to Mexico City. I'm sure the dress can be made to fit
And
you.
I'm sure it can't, Miss Brooks. We just weren't made for each other. Help me get it off, will you?
All right, Miss Atterbury, but you're overlooking a great buy. After all, breathing isn't everything.
Let's get it off. There you are.
I've got an idea. Why don't you dye the dress?
Dye it? What color?
Flesh color. Then you wouldn't have to worry about the zipper. No, I guess not. Oh, there's the lunch period. I've got to hurry over to Mr. Boynton's laboratory.
Oh, did Mr. Boynton invite you to lunch, Miss Brooks?
That's why I've got to hurry. He's just going to. Oh, hello, Mr. Boynton. I'm glad I caught you before you went to lunch.
Hello, Miss Brooks. I'm not going to the cafeteria today. I brought a couple of sandwiches to eat right here. Would you like one of them?
Oh, I don't know, Mr. Boynton. I don't like to take
Oh,
your...
go ahead, Miss Brooks. They're very good.
Well, thanks.
And they're only 30 cents apiece.
Here's 15. I'll just eat the bottom half. You know, I really should be in Mr. Conklin's office right now with the school banking records, but frankly, I'm a little shy.
Well, that's one of the reasons I like you, Miss Brooks.
I don't mean bashful shy. I mean come to the station house shy.
I don't understand, Miss Brooks. Is there something wrong?
Nothing serious, Mr. Boynton. Do you think you could ever love an embezzler?
I never have. What's this all about, Miss Brooks?
Oh, well, let's forget it. Let's live for today. Eat, drink, and be merry, for tomorrow we die. Here's another 15 cents. Give me the top of that sandwich.
Are you sure everything's all right, Miss Brooks?
Oh, let's not talk about it, Mr. Boynton. Tell me, why are you eating in the lab? Cutting down on expenses?
Well, sort of. I've been a little short all month.
You too?
But I'll be solvent again this afternoon. Mr. Conklin's buying a sport jacket of mine. It's one that was sent to me for Christmas, and he just insists on my selling it to him. Says he wants to wear it to the faculty masquerade ball next month.
Masquerade ball? What kind of a jacket is it?
Well, it's green suede. Mr. Conklin's going as Robin Hood.
Oh, he's a natural. What's he giving you for it?
About $25.
Gee, I'm glad I dropped in today. It's good to see you, Mr. Boynton.
Well, thanks, Miss Brooks.
What are you going to wear to the masquerade, Mr. Boynton?
Well, I don't know. I haven't made up my mind yet.
You only think you haven't made up your mind yet. Mr. Boynton, I happen to have in this box the ideal costume for you.
Oh, but Miss Brooks,
Let me unwrap it for you. Now, tell the truth, Mr. Boynton. Who always wins the grand prize at fancy dress affairs? Men who dress as women.
Men who dress as women.
You're so right, Mr. Boynton. Now, take your jacket off.
But I don't
Now,
want
that's a good boy. Just slip this dress on for size.
Oh, but Miss Brooks, I'll never be able to get into it.
If Miss Atterbury could get into it, you can get into it. Now, come on, right over your head. Just straighten it out. There.
Oh, I feel ridiculous, Miss Brooks.
Why, it looks lovely on you, Mr. Boynton. And I'm going to let you have it very reasonably.
But it's so tight.
Well, naturally it's tight now, but that's easily corrected. It'll fit you perfectly when you've got the proper foundation garment on.
Foundation garment?
Oh, excuse me, Walter and I were just... Oh, hi, Miss Brooks.
Hello, Harriet, Walter.
We were... Who's your friend?
What a bill!
Walter, please. It's Mr. Boynton.
Mr. Boynton?
I'm just trying on a masquerade costume.
Oh, I see. Well, the reason we were looking for you, Miss Brooks, was to tell you that Daddy wants to go over those school savings records right away.
I know he does, Harriet, but I haven't been able to make a certain deposit yet. However, as soon as I sell this dress to Mr. Boynton...
Oh, I'm afraid I can't buy this, Miss Brooks. It's just not my type of costume.
Oh, but Mr. Boynton is...
Wait a minute, Miss Brooks. If Mr. Boynton doesn't want the dress, maybe my mother will buy it. I know she's been saving up for one.
Really, Harriet? Do you think she'd like it?
Why, I think so. Would you mind modeling it for me, Mr. Boynton?
Modeling it?
You know, walk up and down with your hand on your hip.
I had to do that once when I first joined a fraternity.
No, but this is absurd.
Please, Mr. Boynton, just a few steps.
Well...
A pretty girl is like a melody that haunts me.
There you are, Miss Brooks.
Oh, hello, Mr. Conklin.
Hi, Mr. Conklin.
hello, Mr. Conklin.
Hello, Miss Boynton. Now then, Miss Brooks, I have been expecting... Mr. Boynton!
I was just trying it on for size, Mr. Conklin, but...
I know this is a biology laboratory, but what kind of an experiment is this?
The masquerade, Mr. Conklin.
I don't want to hear any more about it. I presume you still haven't prepared the school savings record yet?
No, I haven't, Mr. Conklin.
I'll be tied up for the rest of the day, but bring them to my home immediately after school. And they'd better balance.
Let's see now, where were we? Oh, yes. She will leave you and then come back
Now, if you'll just take this chair by the desk, Miss Brooks, we'll check these columns of figures.
Oh, before you do, Mr. Conklin, there's something I'd like to explain. You see, when you add them all
I'm
up, they
sure
don't...
I'm mentally equipped to add a column of figures, Miss Brooks. 6 and 8 of 14, 9, 23,
Yeah,
7
good.
please, Martha. Can't you see I'm trying to do some work here?
Well, I just want to talk to Miss Brooks for a minute.
Well, go ahead, but be quiet about it.
Yes,
6 and 8 of 14.
Come over here, Miss Brooks.
I see you're wearing the dress, Mrs. Conklin. How do you like it?
Oh, I like it fine. How much did you say it was worth?
$25.
Oh, good. You'll never guess where I keep my money, Miss Brooks.
Not in the school savings bank, I hope.
No, it's in the sugar bowl. I'll go and get it for you, Miss Brooks.
Miss Brooks, come here this instant.
Yes, sir. Hurry, Mrs. Conklin.
Now sit down, Miss Brooks. I've added these figures very carefully. 3 times. And I still get the same total.
I know. There's $25 missing.
You knew?
That's what I was trying to explain, Mr. Conklin. You see, that was the money I didn't deposit.
But why not?
Well, it was used for something else.
Something else? But that was a sacred trust, Miss Brooks. How could you do such a thing? Why, that's an awful...
Pardon me, Osgood. But I've got to talk to you. There's $25 missing from the sugar bowl.
From the sugar bowl?
Only you and I knew that money was there, Osgood.
Well, you see, dear, my check isn't due for 2 weeks, and I
want that money, Osgood. I want it now.
But
she wants the dough, Osgood, and she wants it now. See?
What?
Well, I mean, not just anyone can play in the Sugar Bowl. You've got to be invited by the Southern Conference. Of course, this year the Rose Bowl.
I'll get it. Oh, come in, Miss Boynton.
Oh, hello, Mrs. Conklin. Oh, good afternoon, Miss Brooks.
Hello, Mr. Boynton.
Well, here's that jacket, Mr. Conklin. I must say it's a good buy for only $25.
Jacket?
I meant to call you about that, Boynton. I've decided against buying anything for myself. I want to surprise Mrs. Conklin with a little gift. A new dress.
Surprise!
How much is this dress, my dear?
$25.
I just happen to have that amount on me. Here you are, my dear.
Thanks. Here you are, my dear.
Thanks. Here you are, my dear.
Thanks. The books are now balanced.
Oh, just a minute, Mr. Conklin. Let me have 50 cents of that money. Here you are, Mrs. Conklin.
But, Miss Brooks, what's the 50 cents for?
Get yourself a mousetrap for the Sugar Bowl.
As our Miss Brooks returns in just a moment. But first...
Dream girl, beautiful luster cream girl.
Tonight, show him how much lovelier your hair can look after a Luster Cream shampoo. Only Luster Cream brings you Kay Daumit's magic formula blend of secret ingredients plus gentle lanolin. Gives loveliness lather even in hardest water. Glamorizes your hair as you wash it. Luster Cream. Not a soap, not a liquid, but a dainty cream shampoo. Leaves hair fragrantly clean, free of loose dandruff, glistening with sheen. Soft, manageable. Gives new beauty to all hairdos or permanents. 4-ounce jar, $1. Smaller sizes, either tubes or jars. Tonight, try Luster Cream Shampoo and be a
Dream girl, beautiful luster cream girl. You owe your crowning glory to a luster cream shampoo.
And now, once again, here is our Miss Brooks.
Well, after the records were straightened out Friday afternoon, Mr. Conklin gave me the money and told me to be sure and deposit it the following morning. This time I didn't leave it on my dresser. I put the $25 in an old pair of galoshes in the hall closet. I slept until almost 10 o'clock Saturday morning and was just getting out of bed when Mrs. Davis came in.
Oh, I'm so glad you're up, Connie. I thought that was the cutest thing.
You thought what was the cutest thing, Mrs. Davis?
How you tried to give me some advance rent by slipping it into the galoshes you borrowed last week.
Oh, no. You didn't take that money and buy me another dress.
Of course not, Connie. I bought you a lovely leather briefcase to keep the student savings in.
Well, there's only one way out. Get me a needle and thread.
A needle and thread? What are you going to do?
What can I do? I'll sew some sleeves on it and sell it to Mrs. Conklin.
To another Our Miss Brooks show, brought to you by Palmolive Soap, your beauty hope, and Luster Cream Shampoo for soft, glamorous, caressable hair.
Our Miss Brooks, starring Eve Arden, is produced by Larry Burns, written and directed by Al Lewis, with music by Wilbur Hatch.
Men, do you shave with a lather or brushless shave cream? Palmolive shaving cream comes both ways, and whichever way you prefer to shave, you'll find that using either Palmolive brushless or Palmolive lather shaving cream can bring you more comfortable, actually smoother shaves. Here's the proof. 2,548 men tried the new Palmolive way to shave described on the tube. And no matter how they had shaved before, 3 out of every 4 got more comfortable, actually smoother shaves. Get Palmolive brushless or Palmolive lather shaving cream today.
For mystery liberally sprinkled with laughs, listen to Mr. and Mrs. North, the exciting, fun-packed adventures of an amateur detective and his beautiful wife. Tune in Tuesday evenings over most of these same stations. And be with us again next week at this same time for another comedy episode of Our Miss Brooks. Bob Lamont speaking. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Raleigh Cigarette Program, starring Red Skelton with Ozzie Nelson and his orchestra, Harriet Hilliard, and Wonderful Smith. Smokers, before you buy your next pack of cigarettes, here is one important tobacco fact you should know. A fact that speaks volumes about cigarette quality. Without exception, tobacco experts select the more golden leaf when buying for quality. That is an actual trade-accepted fact. The inside story that proves conclusively that Raleigh cigarettes are definitely superior. Compare the open ends of a pack of Raleighs with any other brand. You'll see instantly the tobacco in Raleigh's is more golden in color. The infallible test of choicer, more expensive tobaccos. And Raleigh's are skillfully blended from 31 of these finer tobaccos to give you the smooth, rich, incomparably mild flavor of Raleigh cigarettes. Raleigh's give you valuable coupons, too, redeemable for luxury premiums, including United States war stamps. Let your eyes be your guide in buying cigarettes. You'll see that it pays in many ways to smoke Raleigh's. Raleigh cigarettes. That was Ozzie Nelson and his orchestra playing How About You? And now we bring you Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer's newest young comedian, the star of our show, Red Skelton.
Thank you very much, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How are you tonight, Truman?
Oh, fine, Red. Say, where have you been?
Say, I've been over to the market doing a little shopping. Boy, are those food prices high. They don't sell butter by the pound anymore. It's a blob or a dab.
Oh, Red, I thought they were going to put a ceiling on food.
Well, they did put a ceiling on food, but they should have put a ceiling on the ceiling.
I was on the ceiling once.
You were, Ozzie?
Yeah, I got drunk and followed a fly. Well, you know, they're vicious looking when you get up close.
Say, Red, why don't you raise vegetables?
Well, I am, Truman. I just planted a victory garden. Put it right out in the middle of my yard.
Oh, you did, huh?
Yeah.
Well, that's swell, Red. But you know, I hate to see all the grass plowed up, though.
What grass? At my house, you don't see any lawn. Just gopher fur waving in the breeze.
Say, have you really got a lot of gophers, Red?
Have I? I started digging, see, and one gopher came out and watched me for a while, and then he ran back down inside yelling, "Come on, fellow, this time he means it." Hiya, Harriet. I was just telling Truman about my victory garden.
Oh, yes, I planted one, too.
Yeah, I guess you won't starve, huh?
Nope, not unless I lose my can opener.
Yeah.
Say, Harriet, do you like working in this hot California sun?
Oh, I don't mind it, Truman, except it makes my eyes squint.
Yeah, me too. My eyes squint so much that a neighbor walked over yesterday and said, "Pardon me, have you got time to mow my lawn before you go back to Santa Anita?"
Grow things out here in California where the soil is so rich.
Yeah, boy, what rich soil. I planted a wisp broom yesterday, and guess what came up?
More wisp brooms?
No, 6 Pullman porters.
You know, talking about rich soil, in Florida, I know a guy whose oranges are so large he has to bring them into the house on a float.
Florida, huh? That's nothing. 2 days ago, I stuck a scarecrow in the ground. Now he looks better than I do.
Well, you know, speaking of gardens, I heard that music helps to make things grow.
Music helps things grow?
That's right.
Oh, that's why my neighbor planted my jute box. Oh, say, by the way, I saw your picture, Jukebox Jenny, Harriet, and it was very good, too. In fact, I think I'll go see it again. It's on the bill with my picture, ship ahoy.
Are you having trouble with your garden, Red?
Yeah, I'm having trouble with the neighbor's children. Everything I plant comes up squash.
I was a squash grower once.
Huh?
I was a squash grower once.
You were, Ozzie?
Yeah, until an Army tank corps came along.
What happened?
They squished my squash.
You know, you should stick with your garden, Red. Maybe you'll make something out of
Yeah,
it.
you know, I'd like to raise some orange trees. They tell me that all you have to do is put a pit in the ground, and up comes orange trees.
Well, I tried that, Red. I put a pit in the ground, but it died.
Yeah, looks like your pit's going to pot.
Well, Red, you know, my garden was almost washed away with all the rain.
Yeah, I was smart, though. I dug some irrigation ditches so the rain wouldn't wash my garden away.
Worked, huh?
Yeah, washed my house away instead.
Well, anyway, Red, to have a successful garden, you have to do a lot of digging.
Yeah.
It's that way all over the world.
Yeah, I know. The Japs in Tokyo are doing a lot of digging.
They are? What are they planting?
Each other.
Sit under the apple tree with anyone else but me. Anyone else but me. Anyone else but me. Don't sit under the apple tree with anyone else but me till I come marching home. Don't go walking down Lover's Lane with anyone else but me. Anyone else but me. Anyone else but me. Don't go walking down Lover's Lane with anyone else but me till I come marching home. So you know the third verse of Anchors Aweigh. That's interesting indeed. But I really got burning when I heard you were learning Fight On for Old Lockheed. Oh, don't sit under the apple tree with anyone else but me till I come marching home.
I won't sit under the apple tree with anyone else but you. Anyone else but you. Anyone else but you. No, no, no. I won't sit under the apple tree with anyone else but you till you come marching home. My goodness me, you seem to be the most jealous man I've seen. 'Cause I've had 1 or 2 dates with some sailor boys and a rather cute Marine. I won't sit under the apple tree with anyone else but you. Honest, I won't, honey, 'cause there's 2 feet of snow under it, and it's as cold as all get out.
That was Harriet Hilliard giving some good advice about sitting under the apple tree, and very good, too, Harriet.
Pardon me, Red. Would I seem too hammy if I should say as follows, I, too, sang part of the vocal chorus?
Oh, yeah. Ozzie Nelson, too.
Say, Red. Red,
Huh?
I see that Mr. Raleigh is still in town.
Yeah, he's still living out at my house, too.
No kidding.
Yeah, he said he's going to get something for his money. You should see those Great Dane dogs he's got with him, though.
Oh, so that's why your car sits out all night. The dogs are sleeping in the garage.
Are you kidding? The dogs are in my room. I'm in the garage. Hey, maybe as soon as we start selling more Raleigh cigarettes, you'll go back to Louisville, huh? But I'd like to have one of those big dogs, though.
You like dogs?
Yeah, I think everybody likes animals of some kind. What do you say? Tonight, let's show different types of people and their loves for animals. First, out west, the favorite animal is the horse. And riding to the village blacksmith stand, we find Deadeye. Whoa! I said whoa, not collapse.
Hi, Mr. Deadeye. Say, don't you know the sheriff is looking for you?
Yeah, every state in the union's trying to get their hands on me, except in Texas.
What about Texas?
They're too busy clapping. Well, wonderful. You sure got a nice blacksmith shop here. How's business?
It's picking up. This morning, 2 horses passed by and looked in.
Ain't it kind of dangerous shoeing shoes on horses?
Yes, sir. Yesterday I got kicked by a mule.
No kidding. Did it kick you hard?
Do you see that hole in the roof?
Yeah.
That ain't for ventilation. Yeah, I went sailing through the air so graceful that 2 pilots from the flying patrol asked me for my autograph. Say, that's a mighty fine horse you got there, mister.
Yeah. You want to buy him?
No, you gypped me on the last horse I bought from you.
No kidding.
Yeah, that horse was so knock-kneed. Before he could take a step, his right knee called out signals.
Well, this horse ain't knock-kneed.
No, but how come his neck is so long?
I don't know. Hey, maybe it's because his head's so far from his body. Whoa! Well, Calamity.
Hello, did I?
Yeah, I'm glad to see you, Calamity. Maybe it's because gentlemen prefer blonde.
I ain't no blonde.
I ain't no gentleman. Give me a kiss, Calamity.
Oh, all right.
Boy, you kiss me like that once more, and I'm yours for life.
Thanks for the warning, did I? Say, did I? You've got to help me and the citizens of this town.
Yeah?
That Mr. Curtsy is a rat. He's stealing all the money from my bank.
Yeah, very much money?
I ain't seen so much green stuff since I took off that engagement ring you gave me.
Well, I'll hop on the old trusty horse and speed over there.
Careful, Deadeye. He's tough.
Yes, so am I. Just feel the muscle in that arm. Go ahead, feel it. Oh, doggone it. I said feel it, not squeeze it. Well, I guess I better get going.
Here's your horse, boss.
Well, put him down. Well, come on. Giddy up there. Whoa. Well, here's the bank. Just a stone's throw from the script, wasn't it? Hey, I guess I'll go in, and so nobody will recognize me, I'll pull my head down over my eyes.
Hi there, and what can I do for you?
I want to get some money to pay off a loan at the Happy Credit Company.
Happy Credit Company?
Yeah, 2 boys run it. Joe Happy and his brother Not So. All I got for collateral is this gun.
That's not necessary. I'll give you $2 on your face alone.
Well, now, that's mighty nice of you, but how am I going to look without my face?
Better, I imagine.
Yes. Come on, hand over that little black bag. I'm Deadeye, and this is a hold-up.
Now, wait, Deadeye. I should have some of that money.
Okay, I'll tell you what we'll do. Let's open up the valise and we'll both grab, huh?
Well, that's fair.
Yeah, sure is. Now, you hold the valise.
All right, you tin horn. Stick 'em up. I got my 45 pointed right at your head.
That's a 45? Don't look a day over 39. Now, look, let's do this according to the law of the West. I'll count 3, and then we'll both draw.
Okay.
Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. I must be getting faster on the draw. Don't feel sorry for him, folks. 5 pounds of sugar just fell from under his coat.
Then we have Clem, the fellow from Vincent. He really has a lot of animals, and today he's looking for a lost pig. And he's on his way to Daisy June's house so that she'll help him find it.
Well, here I am. Oh, big, 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 biggy, big, 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 big. Oh,
Boy, I sure know all the words of that song, don't I? Well, there's Daisy June's house. I'll knock on the door.
Hello, Clem.
Well, Daisy.
How are you, Clem?
Oh, I'm fine. What's cooking?
Plenty. My old man's making tires.
You sure look pretty today, Daisy June. What you got on your face?
Powder.
Winchester, too.
Say, what you limping for, Clem?
Well, I'm saving shoe leather, so I walked over here in my bare feet.
You did?
Yep.
Gosh, look at all the things you picked up between your toes.
Yo, see anything there you like?
Oh, you're so good to me, Clem. If you'd only take me someplace once in a while.
Well, I took you someplace last night. It was very romantic, too.
Yeah, very romantic. There we were, all alone, just us 5.
5?
Yes, you and me and them 3 soldiers that was guarding the bridge. What you doing over here, Clem?
Well, I lost my blue ribbon pig, and I was wondering if you'd help me look for her.
Uh-oh. You want me to help, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like the pig must be in the swamp.
Must be. I've looked every place else. I've got my canoe ready. Will you go with me?
I don't want to go in that swamp. I'm scared.
Oh, there's nothing to be scared about. If you see anything, I'll be right behind you.
You'll be right behind me?
Yep, going the other way. Hey, look, if you go with me when I sell the pig at the market, I'll give you half the money.
Well, okay, let's go.
Okay.
Say, Clem, when you sell a pig, what you going to do with your money?
Well, for one thing, I'm going to get a haircut.
Clem, after all these years, you're finally going to have a haircut?
Yep. Kind of like to see what's under there myself. Well, here's the canoe, Daisy June, and here's the paddle. Now, don't paddle too fast, because I don't want to worry about you.
Oh, Clem, look at all them smudge pots over there.
Yep, but you're the only girl for me, Daisy June.
Careful, Clem, there's an alligator.
An alligator? Oh, why, that's just an old log. I'll poke it and show you. Oh, well, half a canoe's better than none at all.
Gee, this swamp is dark and dreary, ain't it?
Yep, it's a real swamp. Chloe! Chloe! Probably working over at Lockheed. Right, I hope I find my pig, because I was raising her scientifically.
What do you mean?
Well, one day I would feed her, and the next day I would let her starve.
Well, why did you do that?
Well, I figure when they turn her into bacon, one strip would be lean, and the next strip would be fat. And we can serve it with that egg. Hey, listen, I hear her. I know that grunt anywhere.
There she is.
Yep. Well, hey, who do all those little pigs belong to?
Well, them dear little babies, Clem.
Well, how did they get there?
The stork brung them.
15 of them? Well, how did he carry them, in a bomb rack?
thank you. Say, Truman, did you know that our sponsor, Mr. Raleigh, and I are related?
Oh, so that's how you got the job.
Yeah. No, but seriously, we both got the same uncle, Uncle Sam.
Well, Red, count me in on that family, too.
Yeah, and we've had a lot of nice letters from our Uncle Sam, thanking us for the thousands of dollars worth of war stamps that were redeemed through Raleigh coupons.
Well, say, that's mighty nice, Red. But in reality, that official commendation belongs to the loyal Raleigh cigarette smokers, who are cooperating with the national effort by redeeming their valuable Raleigh coupons for those vital war stamps. Yes, now your Raleigh coupons are more valuable than ever, because each time you trade them for war stamps, you're helping to secure freedom, America's most priceless premium.
Well, don't you have something nice to say to the folks who haven't smoked Raleigh, Truman?
I certainly do, Red. Those of you who have not yet tried Raleigh cigarettes have a special smoking surprise in store for you. You'll enjoy Raleigh's smoothness, mildness, the golden goodness of their superior tobaccos. And you'll enjoy saving those valuable Raleigh coupons, redeemable for luxury premiums, including United States war stamps. Yes, now more than ever before, it pays in many ways to smoke Raleighs. The pack with a coupon on the back, Raleigh cigarettes.
Getting back to people and their love for animals, we have a lady and her little boy. Junior is always finding stray animals, so let's see what he finds on his way home from the store. Now, Harriet, you be my mother, and I'll be the mean little kid. Boy, I better hurry up home with these goaties. My mama will be waiting. Oh, gee, there's that cute little dog. He's still following me. Yeah, I wish he'd stop following me, though. Here, doggy, have another Frankfurter. Come on, have another Frankfurter. Listen, I told you before, I ain't got no mustard. Now, come on, little doggy, come on. Now, this is where I live. I will take you inside and surprise my mummy. Come on, now, I'll hide you under me coat. Come on.
Is that you, Junior?
Oh! Yeah, it's me, mine. Oh!
What happened to your voice?
Oh! Too much vitamin B1.
Did you get all the groceries I wanted?
Yeah, here's 2 packs of potatoes, a pound of butter, and a dozen of eggs. Scrambled, of course. And here's that carton of Raleigh cigarettes.
Junior, is that a dog?
Well, what do you know? So it is. How you suppose he got under me coat? Probably went with a suit, huh? No, I would take him up and put him in my room, and we would take him back to the store the first thing in the morning.
Where are the Frankfurters I sent you for?
Now, let's not get nosy, man.
I wanted them for dinner. I had my heart set on some hot dogs.
Well, cook him. Can I keep him, Mummy?
Well, I don't know if you can keep him or not.
Aw.
He's certainly the silliest-looking dog I ever saw.
Not so loud, Mummy.
Well, what's the matter? He is a silly-looking dog.
I know, but he thinks he looks like Victor Mature.
Well, I don't know whether your father will let you keep the dog.
Well, he's a handy little fellow. I've been nice. I've been good boy. Did you notice how clean my face is?
Yes, your face is clean. How come?
He's a handy little fellow.
I've never seen such a black dog.
Yeah, he is black.
He's coal black.
Yeah, he is coal black.
He's black all over.
Yeah, he's sure is black all over.
What shall we call him?
Brownie. He's smart, too. Every time I throw a stick, you know what he does?
He runs and fetches it back.
Nope, he just sits there and looks at me like a dope.
But I think you'd better take him outside and let him run
No,
home.
I want to keep him.
No, Junior.
You let me keep him or I will tell.
You'll tell what?
I will tell everybody you always turn around when you hear, "Hey, Mabel." Get away. Don't you hit me. Don't you hit me.
Don't you use that tone of voice with me.
Oh, you hit me. You hit me. You broke my little teeth. You broke my little teeth.
Open your mouth and let's see if any of your teeth are loose.
Okay. Boy, I look like a real moron now, don't I?
Junior, don't you know it's unhealthy to carry money in your mouth?
Now she tells me.
All right, Junior, get that dog out of here before your father comes home.
Okay. If I can't keep him, it's all right, Mummy. That's all right. You bet to me with a heart. You go your way, I go mine.
Oh, dear, here comes your father.
Sober today.
Hello, dear. Hello, Junior.
A dog!
Yeah.
Get away from him! Get away from him! Come here, doggy! Don't do that! Don't do that! He's a head man! Don't do that! He's a handy little fellow, ain't he, man? Can I keep him now?
No, you can't. Go in the other room. I'll put this dog out.
Okay.
What have you got for dinner?
Well, I'll have to send Junior after some more frankfurters. Junior? Junior?
Here I am, Mummy. And me little Bridget coming in short pants.
It is?
Yeah,
It is?
you better look out because I just planted a firecracker in a goldfish bowl.
Junior!
That'll teach them to make faces at me.
Oh, never mind. Here, Junior, get some more frankfurters.
Okay, I will go. I adore. Hello, mister. Is you the butcher?
Yes, I am, son. What can I do for you?
Well, here's $1. I want a dozen of hot dogs, and be sure they're all A1.
Oh, going to eat them for supper, huh?
No, we're going to hit each other over the head with them. What do you think we're going to do with them?
Okay. All right, here you are. Now, hold the bag up so they won't drag.
Okay.
And here's your change.
Okay.
Now, be sure and give your mother all the change.
Yeah.
You wouldn't spend a single penny of it for candy, would you?
Where did they get doped like that? Well, goodbye, mister.
Goodbye.
Oh, gee, look at that little pony all by himself. I wonder if I could take him home with me. I could hide him in my room. If I do, I get a whipping. I won't do it. He's too big.
All sorts of things can happen when you're smiling, and you pipe smokers will smile if you listen to Del King.
Pipe smokers, the first time you smoke Sir Walter Raleigh, you'll say, why haven't people told me these things? Well, just listen. Sir Walter Raleigh is a leading favorite among all pipe smokers. Sir Walter Raleigh is an extra choice blend of superior burleys, cured and aged to perfection. And its aroma is a pleasing fragrance that's welcome every place. So men, try Sir Walter Raleigh tonight.
Remember, we'll all be back again next week at the same time. Red Skelton, Ozzie Nelson and his orchestra, Harriet Hilliard, Wonderful Smith, and your announcer, Truman Bradley. Until next week, then.
Before saying goodbye now, I want to say something to the folks back in Indiana. Don't forget that April the 23rd is the beginning of the pledge card campaign for war bonds. Goodbye now. Thanks for listening.
Golden Mayer Studio. This program came to you from Hollywood. This is the National Broadcasting Company.
It's new. It's amazing. It's Prell. P-R-E-L-L, Prell shampoo. Yes, Procter & Gamble's new Radiant Cream Shampoo in the handy tube. Prell brings you The Life of Riley. Prell, the shampoo that removes unsightly dandruff, leaves hair radiantly lovely, presents The Life of Riley with William Bendix as Riley. Last week, Chester Riley's son, Junior, came home with some wonderful news. During the night, there'd been a small fire in his school, and now it's to be closed for 1 week for repairs. So Junior and his pal, Egbert Gillis, decided to take advantage of the holiday by going to a Boy Scout camp near Lake Arrowhead. News of this decision soon reached the ears of their doting fathers, and Riley Sr. said,
I absolutely forbid it. Now, I don't want no arguments, Junior. It's time you learned that there's somebody at the head of this house, and you got to do what the head of the house says. And the head of this house says you can't go. And I agree with your mother.
And in the house next door, Egbert Gillis's father said,
Egbert, I absolutely forbid it. Now, it's no use pestering me. Yesterday I forbade it. Today I forbid it. And if you ask me tomorrow, I'll forbode it again.
But teenage boys are persistent. And then Riley said,
Please don't go, Junior. I'll miss you. I see so little of you. I thought this week we could pal around together. So don't go. I'll double your allowance. I'll triple it. Just think, Junior, 60 cents a week.
And next door, Gillis said,
Egbert, sweetheart, you don't want to leave your papa. If you stay, I'll buy you a nice present, huh? What do you say? Don't go, and I'll get you a brand new lawnmower.
But the boys were stubborn. So finally, each father had to put his foot down.
I don't care what your mother says. You can't go, Egbert. Nothing will make me change my mind.
It's no use begging, Junior. I said you can't go, and that's final. I have made up my head. Bye, Junior.
Goodbye, Egbert. Goodbye.
There they go, Gillis.
Yeah. They couldn't wait for the bus to pull out.
Fine kids we got. They get a week's vacation, and instead of staying home where they can spend a little time with their fathers for a change, they rush off.
Yeah. And where did they go? To some wild wilderness, where there's nothing to look at but weasels, coyotes, and skunks.
Instead of staying home and looking at us.
I'm telling you, Riley, this here younger generation, they're ungrates. Pure, adulterated ungrates.
Yeah. You'd think they'd have a little affection for us after all we've done for them.
Yeah. Remember when the cop come after them for stealing a donut from Dingo's Bakery?
Yeah.
Who swore they was innocent? I did.
And who ate up all the evidence? I did.
But you think they remember that? Yeah. But when we was kids, we loved our father.
You bet we did. I always thought of my father as an idol.
Mine never waked neither, but I loved him just the same. Everywhere my father went, I wanted to go.
Yeah, me too. He used to take me to all the ball games. Every game we were there together. He'd sell the hot dogs and I'd smear on the mustard.
Believe me, Riley, being a father is only grief. You raise a son, you feed him, you dress him, you educate him. And in the end, what do you got? An empty room.
That's until he gets married. Then the room gets crowded. Gillis, our kids have got to be taught a lesson. They got to learn that you don't get something for nothing. If you want love, you got to give love.
You're right. Love breeds love.
We'll show those kids. They want to go, let them. We'll show them it don't bother us none.
That's the idea. We'll show them we don't care. We won't even write to them.
You bet. Besides, with them going, who do we get to write for us? Yes, sir, Gillis, we'll show them.
Yeah, it's easy to say, but I know you, Riley. You get soft. You'll crack.
Oh, no, not me. Not this time. If anybody cracks, it'll be you. When it comes to Egbert, you always were a softy.
Who, me?
Yeah, you. Just yesterday, you took a filet mignon that was for your dinner, $1.50 a pound, and you put it on Egbert's black eye.
Well, it was only fair. After all, I gave him the black eye. He walked into a door I was opening. But don't you worry about me.
Well, okay. From now on, no sentiment. We're making a pact.
It's a pact. For the next week, them boys don't exist. We're cutting them down from our family tree.
Right. And when they've learned their lesson, we hang them up again.
Oh, Riley, is that all you're going to eat?
I ain't hungry, Dumpling.
What's the matter with you anyway? You've been mooning around all day. You won't eat, you won't talk. Why are you in such an ugly mood?
I ain't in an ugly mood. Don't judge by my face. Inside, I feel swell.
Oh, you don't fool me. I know what's bothering you. You miss Junior.
I do not. Why should I miss him? The minute he left, I put him out of my mind just like that. I never gave him another thought. 2 days, 12 hours, and 8 minutes since he left, and he hasn't written yet.
So you do miss him.
What's wrong with that? After all, he's been with us 13 years now. Ever since he was born. Why, I grew up with him.
And he's a fine boy.
The least he can do is drop a line to show that he remembers he's got a father.
Oh, Riley, be sensible. After all, he's my boy, too. I love him and I miss him, but I don't get all upset just because he's away for a few days.
Oh, yeah, you can talk like that. You've never been his father. You didn't go through what I went through when he was born.
And I thought I heard everything.
He just don't care about me. After all, how long does it take to write a 6-page letter? Never mind a letter, a card. One word, regards. He don't even have to sign it. I'd know it was from him.
Riley, I know you're very fond of Junior, but don't forget you've got another child.
Who?
Why, Riley.
Oh, yeah, Babs, yeah. Yeah, Babs is a sweet girl.
You know, you've always been closer to Junior than you've been to Babs. Well, now's your chance to get to know her better.
Well, gee, I love Babs, but... Well, she's not like Junior. When we play catch, she throws the ball like a girl. And if we went fishing, would she bite a worm in half with her teeth like Junior does?
Oh, Riley. Well, of course she throws a ball like a girl. That's because she is a girl.
Yeah, that must be the reason.
Girls need a father's companionship as much as boys. You ought to show some interest in the things that interest Babs. Go on, talk to her. It'll cheer you up.
Yeah. Yeah, why not? What if Junior is gone? I can get along without him. I've got my little Babs. Oh, Babs! Babsy!
Here, Daddy.
Oh, hello, Babsy. You mind if I sit down?
Of course not, Daddy. Oh, wait, I'll move this magazine.
Oh, yeah. Well, I just thought I'd drop in and have a friendly little talk.
All right, Daddy. Let's talk.
Yeah. Well, excuse me. Peg.
What is it?
What'll I talk about?
Oh, for heaven's sake, talk about anything. Talk about school.
Yeah, school. That's it, yeah. Well, tell me, Babs, how's school?
Fine.
Well, that one's shot.
Anything special on your mind, Daddy?
Huh? Oh, no, nothing at all. My mind's a perfect blank. I just wanted to talk. What's that you're reading there, honey?
Oh, just a magazine. You wouldn't be interested in it.
Well, who wouldn't? I'm very interested in magazines. I read Esquire every week.
Daddy, Esquire only comes out once a month.
Yeah, I know. I read it 4 times.
Well, this is a fashion magazine.
Oh, fashion. Well, let me see. Oh, yeah, I've seen that around. Harper's Buzzer.
Bizarre, Daddy.
Well, you mind if I look at it with you?
Oh, Daddy, it's mostly about women's clothes. You wouldn't care about that.
No, I do. I'm interested in everything that interests you. You tell me all about it, eh?
Well, they've got 2 of the most gorgeous dresses you've ever seen. They're divine.
Well, tell me more. I'm all ears.
Well, I can't make up my mind which I like best. Now, this one here is a taffeta with a sweetheart neck and a dirndl skirt.
Huh?
But this one's a file dress with a bustle back, leg of mutton sleeve, and a cowl neck. Which one do you like?
Well, you look beautiful with mutton legs and a cow's neck. Well, I'd like to see you in this one here. I think that's
you would? Oh,
yeah.
Daddy, you're an angel. It's only $30, but I
now,
never
wait a minute,
dreamed
Dad.
you'd
I didn't
buy
mean
it
to
for
see
me.
Just a minute, Dad.
Oh, you're an angel.
angel, Daddy. I got up on the way and tell you you're going to buy it.
Now, wait, Babs. Oh, well, so I'll wear this suit another 4 years.
Well, dear, did you have a nice talk with Babs?
Some conversation. 3 minutes, and it cost me $30. I could have phoned long distance for that dough. Only I don't know anybody who lives further than Glendale. Hey, wait, I do know someone. Junior. I could have phoned Junior. I still can. Oh, if I could just hear his voice.
Well, go ahead. It only costs $1.
Yeah, I could... No, I can't. Gillis might find out.
Well, what's Gillis got to do with it?
Well, we sort of agreed that we'd teach those boys a lesson, show them that we don't miss them.
Oh, that's ridiculous. Never mind Gillis. Go on and phone.
But we made a pact. We shook hands on it. There's only one way out. I'll be a diplomat. I'll break the pact. But we got to keep this from Gillis.
Stop worrying about Gillis. Go on and phone.
Okay.
Well, dial the operator.
First, I want to make sure that Gillis ain't listening in on the party line. Ever since we both got the same party line, he's always listening. Yeah, okay, the coast is clear.
Anderson?
I want to put in a person-to-person call to Junior Riley at Camp High Point in Lake Arrowhead.
I am sorry. There is some trouble with the lines in Lake Arrowhead. There will be a 2-hour delay.
2 hours? That's 6 o'clock. Yeah. Well, okay, call me back when you get him. Gladstone 9989J. Poor Gillis. He must be suffering, but it's his own fault. He just ain't smart enough to think of a double cross like this.
That's no use. Ever since my Egbert's gone, I can't stand it no more. Living in an empty house with nobody but my wife. I don't care what I promised Riley.
Anderson?
Oh, I want to talk person to person to Egbert, Gillis, in person. Camp High Point, Lake Arrowhead.
Sorry, sir. There will be a 2-hour delay.
Yeah, okay, I'll be here. This is party line Gladstone 9989K. I feel better already. Poor Riley. Well, what he don't know won't hurt me.
You out here, Gillis?
Oh, hello, Riley. Yeah, just taking a nose full of fresh air.
It's a nice night, huh, Gillis? Huh?
Yeah.
Gillis, well, why don't you go for a nice long walk? Get away from the house?
No, I think I'll hang around the house here. Why don't you go for a long walk?
Oh, no. I think I'll hang around, too.
Well, Riley, how goes it? You, missing Junior?
Who? Junior? Oh, my wife's son. You missing Egbert?
No. Why should I miss it? We agreed to put him out of our minds, didn't we?
Yeah, it's the smartest thing we ever did. It just goes to show you what willpower can do.
Well, sure. What time is it, Riley?
3 minutes and 10 seconds to 6. What time you got, Gillis?
3 minutes, 9 seconds to 6. I'm a little fast.
What time is it now, Gillis?
2 minutes to 6. What time you got?
1 minute and 59 seconds to 6. What's the matter, Gillis? Your ears are quivering.
Nothing.
Don't! Excuse me, I just remembered I gotta go to bed. I'll see you later. Oh, it was my phone. Thanks, heaven. Hello?
On your call to Lake Arrowhead, I am trying to locate your party. Hold on, please.
Yeah, okay, I'll hold on.
Hello?
Hello, is that you, pal?
Yeah, this is me. Is that you, pal?
Yeah, gee, your voice sounds so different. It sounds horrid.
You're different, too. I can hardly recognize you.
I think we got a bad connection. Do you miss me, pal?
I'll say I do. Do you miss me?
Every minute. I'm so lonesome.
And you love me?
Love you. Here's a kiss.
And here's one for you.
Are you having fun? Well, what did you do today?
Nothing much. I've been hanging around with that big Jake Riley.
Well, I've been... Gillis, it's you.
Riley, it's you. You double-crosser. You put in a call for your Junior.
Oh, yeah? Well, you're a double-crosser, too. You put in a call for your Egbert.
Yes, but you're the worst, Mr. Riley. You placed your call first.
The next time I use the telephone, I'm going to write instead.
Prell will bring you the second act of The Life of Riley in just a moment. And now, here's a glamour tip from our own glamour girl.
I'm Tallulah, the tube of Prell, and I've got a little something to tell. Your hair can be radiant, oh so easy. All you gotta do is take me home and squeeze me. I'm Tallulah, the tube of Prell, and I'll make your hair look swell. It'll shine, it'll glow, so dandruff-free. For radiant hair, get a hold of me. Tallulah, the tube of Prell shampoo.
Yes, folks, Tallulah's right. There's radiance for you in Prell, Procter & Gamble's Radiant Cream Shampoo. In fact, Prell leaves hair radiant the very first time you use it. Yes, more radiant than any soap shampoo. Soft, smooth, easy to manage. And Prell removes unsightly dandruff quickly, in as little as 3 minutes. Doctors' examinations proved it. Try it the very next time you shampoo. Get Prell. Before Prell brings you the second act of The Life of Riley, I'd like to say thanks to all of you folks who have written to tell us how much you've enjoyed the new Life of Riley motion picture starring William Bendix with James Gleason and Rosemary DeCamp and John Brown as Digger Odell. We agree it's a very funny movie. And if you haven't seen it yet, don't miss The Life of Riley when it plays in your city. And now back to The Life of Riley.
So, all right, Riley, let's face it. So we both made a mistake. We broke under the strain and cracked the pack.
Well, wait, Gillis, we didn't really crack the pack, because we didn't actually talk to the boys.
Yeah, that's right. The pack ain't cracked, it's still intact. But from now on, we gotta be stronger than ever. And there's one way to make sure we don't give in.
What do you mean?
Well, we're both members in good standing of the BPLA.
Yeah, but what's this got to do with the Brooklyn Patriots of Los Angeles?
We're taking the supreme oath of everlasting brotherly trust.
No, not that. Not the supreme oath. The Constitution says you're only supposed to take that in times of catastrophes, like earthquakes, floods, epidemics, and eviction.
Yeah. When a boy don't love his father, that's an emergency. Come on, the oath. Shake.
Shake.
Fingers to fingers. Toes to toes.
If I break this pact, break my nose.
Riley, we're home. I guess Daddy's out. Oh, that's funny. Said he's staying in tonight. Oh, just listen to that, Mother. I wish the landlord would install a new hot water boiler. That's not the boiler. It's your father snoring. He must be in the living room. Oh, yes, there he is on the couch. Just listen to him, Mother. Now I know what to get you for your birthday. Earplugs. He's talking in his sleep. What's he saying? Well, I can't quite make it out.
Darling, I love you.
Oh, he's dreaming about you, Mother. He better be.
When I come home from work, my first thought is of you.
He does mean you, Mother. Oh, that sweet thing.
Don't ever leave me. I can't live without you.
Ah, the darling. I'll wake him up with a kiss.
Oh, thank you, Junior.
Junior?
Oh, it's you. Where's Junior? Oh, it's only a dream. I forgot. He's gone.
Oh, now listen, Riley. It's all right to love your son, but you're overdoing it. Junior goes away for a few days and you act like the world's ended. You mope around the house, you talk in your sleep. You better snap out of it.
Yeah, but he didn't even write, not even a card.
Kids Junior's age never write. You know that, Daddy. Now, there's nothing to worry about. The scoutmaster at the camp takes good care of the boys. Besides, if anything went wrong, they'd let us know.
Yeah, I know all that.
Well, then what are you so gloomy about?
I miss him. My own son ignores me. I was always so good to him. I treated him like he was my own son. Some son. He don't write. He don't phone. As far as he's concerned, I ain't even alive.
According to my records, he's wrong.
Who's that?
It is I, Digby Odell, the friendly undertaker.
Oh, I didn't see you, Digger.
Greetings, Riley. Going my way?
No, I'm just strolling around a while I walk. You know, Digger, life is full of disappointments. A man tries to be a nice guy, be a friend and a pal. And then in the end, someone lets him down.
Please, let's not talk shop.
I feel terrible, Digger. It's my boy, Junior. He went camping 3 days ago, and, gee, I miss him. Would you believe it? I saw him off at the station last Thursday, and since then I ain't even heard from him.
Oh, don't let that worry you, Riley. I've seen lots of people off, and I never heard from them. But I don't mind. As long as I know where they are, I'm satisfied.
Oh, but I miss him so much. Being a father is nothing but trouble.
Ah, fatherhood. Frantically summoning a taxi when the little woman tells you the moment has arrived. Desperately speeding to the hospital at 60 miles per hour. Impatiently pacing the hospital corridor until the stork arrives. And then rushing back to the pinochle game. I adore pinochle. It's so gay.
My wife says I should go up to camp and see Junior.
An excellent suggestion.
Yeah, but I can't. Gillis and me made a solemn promise to ignore our boys, to teach them a lesson for desertness, and I got to keep my word. Besides, Gillis is watching me like a hawk.
I see. But suppose Babs wanted to see her little brother. Naturally, you'd have to chaperone her on the trip.
Yeah. Yeah, and then if Gillis found out, why... Hey, that's a great idea. We'll leave first thing in the morning. Digger, you're a real pal. Someday I'll do something for you.
I'm sure you will. Well, cheerio. I'd better be shoveling off.
Hurry up, Babs. I want to reach the camp before it gets dark.
Oh, I'm exhausted. I still don't see why he had to take me along.
I keep telling you, Babs, if Gillis finds out, you're my alibi.
Well, let's go on.
Yeah, now remember, keep close to me. There's wild animals around here.
Wild animals?
Sure, wolves and bears and coyotes.
Bears?
Now, don't be afraid. If a bear should jump out at you from the bush, start running. And don't worry, I'll be right in front of you. Now, come on. Let's go. Oh, gee, I can hardly wait to see Junior.
Oh, I think I see the camp, Daddy.
Where?
There. You can see it through the trees.
Yeah, that's it. Hurry up. Come on.
Wait, Daddy.
What's wrong?
Listen. There's something in those bushes.
There is?
Oh, it's some kind of an animal. Maybe it's a bear.
A bear? No, don't be afraid. You stay here. I'll run and get help.
It's coming toward us.
It's looking at us. I see its hairy face. It's got long fangs and beady red eyes.
Why, Mr. Gillis.
Riley! Bear! Gillis! I thought you was a bear. I'll never trust you again. The minute I turn my back, you follow me.
Oh, Riley, what's the use? Let's admit we're licked. I can't stand it. After all, Egbert's my own fleshy blood. My only male son.
Yeah, you're right, Gillis. Why fight nature?
This has been the lonesomest week of my life. Look, there's the scoutmaster over there. Let's go ask him to get the boy.
No, wait a minute, Gillis. Babs, you go get him and walk past the tree, and then we'll jump out and surprise him. Huh?
Oh, all right, but you stay right there.
Yeah. Oh, gee, Gillis, I hope we did the right thing in coming here.
I hope so, too. Egbert and Junior might not like it.
Yeah, they might resent us, making sissies out of them. Maybe we better go home.
No. We come this far. Let's stick it out.
Yeah.
Daddy?
Hey, here comes Babs.
Oh, Daddy.
Where's Junior?
Where's Egbert?
They're gone.
Gone? What do you mean?
Where'd they go?
They ran away this morning. They went home.
Home? They ran away home?
Home? But this I came through 10 miles of poison ivy?
Well, don't you see, Gillis? They went home because they couldn't stand being away from their fathers.
Oh, yeah. They missed us. They love us.
And we were worried. Oh, this is the biggest thrill of my life.
Here's the note they left.
Let's see what the little darlings say. We're going home. We can't stand it any longer. We miss our mothers.
Their mothers? They love their mothers?
What a revolting development this is.
Riley will return in just a moment. There's a glamorous air about Prell washed hair. Yes, that's what you'll discover when you use Prell, Procter & Gamble's Radiant Cream Shampoo. Because Prell helps hair to more glamour 2 ways. First, Even in hardest water, Prell leaves hair more radiant than any leading cream shampoo. Yes, with Prell, your hair is radiantly soft, radiantly smooth, so easy to comb and manage. And second, Prell removes unsightly dandruff in as little as 3 minutes. Doctors' examinations proved it. Try Prell yourself. As Tallulah says,
I'm Tallulah, the tube of Prell, and I'll make your hair look swell. It'll shine, it'll glow, so dandruff-free. For radiant hair, get a hold of me. Tallulah, the tube of Prell shampoo.
Hey, I'm home. Is Junior here yet?
Yes, he's sound asleep.
Did he tell you why he left camp?
Well, yes, he did.
I guess he loves you more than he loves me.
Oh, no, Riley, don't be silly.
Oh, I don't mind. That's life. You find it in every family. Anyway, it works out even in the end. The boy loves the mother the most, and the girl loves the father the least. Folks, this is Raliegh, alias William Bendix, saying goodbye for a while and hoping you will be with us again when we return to the air Friday night, October 7th, over your NBC station. Tonight marks the close of 4 happy years of broadcasting the life of Raliegh for Procter & Gamble, makers of our favorite shampoo, Prell. And we wish our sponsor and you folks who have allowed us to visit you every week a wonderful summer and good luck to you all. See you in October.
Prell Shampoo has presented The Life of Raliegh with William Bendix as Raliegh and wishes them the best of everything when they return to the air next fall. And don't miss the hilarious new motion picture comedy, The Life of Raliegh, now playing in most cities throughout the country. Tonight's script is by Alan Lipscott and Reuben Ship. Mrs. Riley is Paula Winslow, Digger Odell is John Brown, Babs is Barbara Eiler, Junior is Tommy Cook. Mitchell Lindemann directs, with music by Lou Kozloff. And thanks to John Morris, Floyd Caton, and Ralph Reed of NBC. The Life of Raliegh is produced by Irving Brecker. And remember, for more radiant hair, free of unsightly dandruff, get the shampoo in the tube. P-R-E-L-L, Prell Shampoo.
Hi-ho, ivory snow. Wash your dishes with ivory snow. It's kind to hands and speedy too. Lovely hands mean a lovely you. Hi-ho, safe in snow. Wash your dishes in ivory snow.
Let your hands tell you why Ivory Snow is so wonderful for dishwashing. Wash your dishes with Ivory Snow as millions do. When you see how Ivory Snow pampers your hands, you'll know it's ideal. It's Ivory Mild, Ivory Pure, and it's granulated for speed. No soap made is faster for dishes or kinder to hands than Ivory Snow. Remember, it's Ivory Mild and granulated for efficiency. Yes, for speedier dishwashing, for snow-white hands, try wonderful Ivory Snow.
And this is Ken Niles on behalf of Prell Shampoo, wishing you a pleasant summer and reminding you to tune in to The Life of Raliegh when it returns next October 7th over this NBC station. Goodbye!
This is NBC, the National Broadcasting Company.